What's good? What's good? What's good, fan? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This week it is July 24th, 2024, week 302, Cleveland. How you doing, man? How you doing this week?
Doing all right this week, Cam. Thanks for asking.
What's the weather like, man? You got some sweltering up there. Um, what's the weather like this week?
Cam, we did have a heat wave there for a minute. I thought I was going to pass out, but we're back down to comfortable 77 westerly breeze. It's cool. Love it.
As long as it don't break 80, huh?
No, it's fine if it breaks 80, but just every once in a while, throw a 77 in there. That's great.
Well, we thank you for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast, being a part of the podcast, fans. If you can and if you are willing, hit us up at the Cash App at underscore voice, or excuse me, just at Voice of the Fans, at Voice of the Fans on the Cash App, at underscore Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Leave us your comments and complaints, your feedback, what you guys want to talk about, what you guys want to hear. But if you can and you are willing, shoot us some love at Cash App, at Voice of the Fans Cash App. This week we're going to talk about Cleveland, the NBA Summer League. They wrapped up this week. I want to get your top takeaways from the Summer League. Want to get your top takeaways from the WNBA weekend. Like, they had a pretty impressive weekend, some a competitive game Saturday night. Interesting mix of competition they had on Friday night. So I want to get your comments on the WNBA weekend. We're going to talk about second half of the Major League Baseball season, what you see there. Fans, this is the last week. The last week, we're going to give you some tidbits on fantasy football. I can't give everything away because I got some competition over there. We're gonna give you some fantasy football ideas on who you should draft, with which quarterbacks you can draft, which tight ends you should kind of keep your eye on. So we're going to talk about that as well, Cleveland. But like we do each and every week, or most weeks anyway, we play the numbers game, with it being July 24, 2024. I'm going to look at the number 24, Cleveland. The number 24. Who wore that jersey number the best, or who comes to your mind first when you think of that number 24?
Cam, who probably comes to mind first is Barry Lamar Bonds when he was wearing the 24 in Pittsburgh. Probably who wore it best was
that was 155 pound Bonds, huh?
And who wore it best was Kobe Bean Bryant.
So you don't want to talk about the 155 pound Bonds?
And who wore it best was Kobe Bean. Bean Bryant.
Ain't Bonds your guy? All of a sudden now you want to bring up Bonds every time we talk baseball. Ain't Bonds your guy?
Yeah, 100%.
What was the weight difference from Bonds when he played?
I don't, Cam, I don't have that information, those stats right in front of me right now.
Okay, I think some things you don't need the stats. Some things are eye test. Some things you can just look at the eye test.
It was less. It was less.
Huh?
It was less.
Okay. I mean, that's funny how you just all of a sudden you don't want to talk Barry Bonds. I'm trying to dig into Barry Bonds and let the fans know who he was. Probably what, the fourth or fifth best player in baseball that you claim?
No, the greatest baseball player you've ever seen.
No, that's no. That's number 17 in LA. You know who that is. You know that guy. You left off Willie Mays. Dennis Johnson gets no love. Did you mention Ken Griffey? No. When you think of the number 2, Cleveland, who comes to your mind first? Who wore that jersey number the best?
Who comes to mind first is Kawhi Leonard, because it's such a disappointment he's not on the U.S.
You guys hear this guy? You guys hear this guy?
Given how much that they were counting on him to be a part of all of this.
Oh my goodness! Do you hear this? Do you hear this, dude?
But
what's good, Barry? What's good, man?
Barry?
In, big dog.
But who wore the best? Derek Jeter.
This guy, he slipped with Kawhi Leonard. Well, speaking of the NBA, man, you want to blame Kawhi for the Team USA failing to cover the spread against Germany? You want to blame Kawhi for that?
I don't
Kawhi 1,000 miles away, but You want to blame him against South Sudan?
I don't blame anyone for not covering the spread. That's a gambling thing, and that is strictly, on what happens in the game. So no one player is responsible for that. But fortunately, thank goodness, this team has King James on it, the flag bearer, if you will. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? He's bearing the flag for the entire country. That's just how important of an athlete he is right now.
I mean, I did hear rumors that he wouldn't play for the Olympics unless he was promised that
no, you didn't
that position. That's what I did hear that rumor.
Nobody
did you hear that rumor?
No.
I did hear, unless he was a nominated flag bearer, he was going to refuse to play in the Olympics. I did hear that.
You heard that from Slim Calhoun on Prentice Street? Is that you heard that from?
I mean, it might have been one of those guys. Yeah. One of those guys.
Well, no one has said that. That was not a requisite for being on the team.
So what's your nickname for dude for LeBron James? What's your nickname for him?
The Kang.
So since they have the Kang, as you call him, why'd they only beat Germany by 4 points and almost lose to South Sudan? Like, is that are those numbers representative of a king?
No, absolutely not. That has everything to do with Devin Booker and Kawhi Leonard's absence.
Kawhi Leonard is 1,000 miles away. How is he getting the play? How is he catching shrapnel?
Devin Booker's absence on the court and Kawhi Leonard's absence off the court.
Man, you should be ashamed of yourself. Blaming somebody who ain't even in the gym. You blaming somebody even in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have a question, and it's kind of a serious question. It's kind of a serious question. What is JJ, Rob? Is the pressure on? Let me frame it this way. Is the pressure on Jeannie, Rob, and JJ because they have AD is playing it out of his mind against these chumps in different countries, and then LeBron, the Kang as you call him, is closing games out. Is the pressure on these guys going into next season, into the off season, so they don't finish in the play-in tournament? Because the last couple of years they finished in the play-in tournament with those two guys on their team, two of the top 15 players in the NBA, two of the top players. Kind of, I won't say dominating, it might be a stretch, but putting the world on notice. They play for the Los Angeles Lakers, don't they, Cleveland? Shouldn't they be doing more than finishing the play-in tournament last 2 seasons? I mean, aren't you guys embarrassed by that?
Okay, I was going to let the laugh track go off, but yeah, no, Kim, I would agree with you. It does look rather ridiculous the way Anthony Davis and LeBron James are dominating at least this exhibition season of
I mean, well, it was South Sudan, bro. It was South Sudan.
The exhibition,
Austria,
the Paris Olympics. So yeah, it does look like you probably should have given them a little bit more help and kind of seeing what they could do. 2 years ago they were in the Western Conference Finals. So
what happened in the Western Conference? Did they get swept in that series? No, I don't remember. I'm not sure did they get swept out?
Well, they did get to the Western Conference Finals, unlike that other team from Los Angeles that Paul George was talking about. I can't remember.
Paul George, what a disgrace! I'm not even going to discuss Paul George. There's been a ban on discussing playoff P until NBA season starts.
Wonder why, fans? That's weird.
Is it? You go find, just look playoff P up. That's a disgrace. That absolutely disgrace for him to open his mouth and talk about that. You know what that shows? That shows a sign of being hurt. Actually.
Of honesty, of just true honesty.
When you break up with your ex, and you got to keep talking about her. When you break up with your ex and you got to keep talking about her, and you got to come up with your own narrative, that was hurt right there. That was hurt speaking. Paul George, shame on you. You're better than that, Paul George.
Truthisms.
Paul George, you're better than that.
And fans, just to let you know what Paul George was
Oh,
talking
yeah, nobody wants to hear what he said. He was
claim,
whining. He was whining.
that he was like, man, what did he say? What did he say he was playing for? What team?
He was whining.
The B
He
team.
whining. That was a disgrace.
He called the Los Angeles Clippers the B team. And what he is referring to was within the two teams in Los Angeles, it was
Nobody listens to you right now. Nobody listens. Nobody.
Not my words, Paul George's words.
Nobody heard you.
It's a complete crap.
That's what Paul George.
It's a complete crap.
That's what he had to say. Paul George, you cut it out. You disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Are you concerned? Now you want to blame Kawhi for not playing. Do you blame KD for not participating, or is KD just want to go ahead and get a gold medal?
Durant for not playing, he's been injured. I mean, if we want to put blame on anyone on this team, it's Steph Curry and Devin Booker. They haven't been hitting the knockdown threes from the close line. It's ridiculous. Everybody else comes down, and the rest of the world comes down a little closer to the line. Splash, 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 splash.
Wait.
South Sudan just throwing up nonsense going in.
Hold on, wait. You're blaming Steph Curry for not hitting threes?
Steph Curry, what is he about 25% from 3-point range so far? And Devin Booker, man, don't get me started on Devin Booker.
Well, I mean, Devin Booker. Yeah, the lights might be too bright. You know, you and your boy Clint like to talk about when the lights get bright. Some people just can't stand the light, right?
That's true, and that may be
too many eyes, too many eyeballs on these games. You know, another question for you, Cleveland. I find this kind of peculiar. I noticed this in the women's game as well. Women played Germany and waxed Germany, and we're gonna get to that one. What a difference that was when the women come out and just wax their opponent, but America struggles with the men struggle with their opponent. With this being a friendly quote unquote, over there in U2 Stadium over there in London, how come it says USA showcase, not Olympic showcase? Have you noticed that on the floor, right in the center court? USA showcase. Have you noticed that?
No, I hadn't noticed that because they're showcasing the USA talent, and that's what's.
But they're not the only one. It's not the USA tournament over in the U2 Stadium in London.
Well, hey man, I mean, you know, you're bringing the USA Olympic team. Come on now. Well, you know, Dennis Schroeder is not back in the stadium. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Dennis Schroeder is not back in the stadium. That's a good one. Oh, so they're the draw. Their name on the marquee.
They're the draw. They're the marquee.
Okay. I just found that kind of peculiar. I'm like, they're not Vegas no more. They're not Portland. They're over in U2 and it says clearly on the floor in blazing USA showcase. Like, okay, that's what's going down, huh?
Yeah, we'll give you a quick audition here, real quick.
So yeah, let's talk about what the difference is. You kind of touched on it. You said Devin Booker and Steph Curry is not hitting threes, but how come the women are just come out there and run Germany and the men couldn't handle Germany like Germany men like that earlier or the day before actually?
Sure, because the WNBA is far superior with their talent level than the USA basketball team is with regards to the rest of the world. And they already got a smack in their face in front of everybody by the leftovers, the ones that couldn't make the team. So, yeah, they felt they had to come out and really establish who they were. And they did that.
Oh, so they were playing on had some animosity going on, is what you're saying.
Oh, they had something to prove, for sure.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, they got. I mean, that was impressive the way they came out there and put it on them. I mean,
and it was Germany. I mean, I don't know, kind of where you have them, as far as medal contention, but That's not a great team by any means.
I mean, they had a couple WNBA players on their team. They had a
Oh,
couple contributors.
well, the USA team has all WNBA players.
Well, yeah, that's essentially it.
That's 12-2.
Yeah, probably. I think it was 12-3, but yeah, it was heavily favored one way. So you expected? Do you expect the WNBA to play a close game? I think they won by 16 points. The game was they may have been up by 25 at one point, but they won by 16 points. Will anybody come in within 10 points of the USA Team USA women's game?
Don't think so.
Okay. And we know that we don't put that pressure on the men because boy, I mean South Sudan. I mean I'm still reeling over that one. Um, but we'll see. They get another chance at Serbia, and Jokic, your guy, Nikola Jokic wasn't happy. Um, they might not have showered or shaved since that loss the other week. Jokic sat in the stands and watched the game. He's like, yeah, I want to see these guys. He was doing his own scouting, wasn't relying on the coach to get game film. He's like, I'm in the building, looking over your shoulder, like your guy Clubber Lang was looking at Rocky. Yeah, we're here. We're here. And you know what happened when Clubber Lang got in the ring, right?
I do.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Clubber. Still amazing. It's still amazing how Rocky was even in the fight, was he? Against Clubber Lang.
No, just too much angst. Too much.
Cleavon, Miami Heat win NBA Summer League. Now I know the fans already heard what you got to say about the Summer League and how you put zero stock into what's going on. But I tell you, it's when when competitors know there's a scoreboard involved and there's bragging rights involved, doesn't that turn the temperature up? If we go out there and I'm on the other side about to receive your serve, I mean, you're trying to win the game, aren't you? Aren't you trying to win the game?
Cam, it's a glorified scrimmage. Everyone is trying to showcase what they can do.
Okay.
Everyone's trying to showcase what they can do, to the best of their ability. And, quite a few of these players are, again, auditioning for hopefully getting an opportunity to come to training camp and, show what they can do, with the big players. So that's what we have going on here.
So you say straight audition. That's all it was.
Straight audition. Yeah.
I mean, but again, I mean, you avoided the question though. I mean, I like it. You try to be slick and avoid the question. Don't you want to win when you have a competitor on the other side? I mean, anybody else, you might get.
You want to win every time you're competing, like you said, when there's a score being capped. Yeah, you want to win. You're competitive. That's how you got to this point. So yeah, of course you want to win.
What was the Lakers record in Summer League?
I don't recall.
Oh.
What was it?
Okay, so you call it a glorified
scrimmage
game, glorified scrimmage. I mean, with TVs and fans and popcorn in the building, and they're passing sodas around. When the man comes down the aisle with the soda pop can, or the different soda pops in his little, what do you even call it, in his, you can't call it a bag, in his little tray. Like that means competition, right? That means somebody's there to pay him money to come watch you play. You should be competitive enough to play those games.
Sure.
Right. So how much credit do you give the Miami Heat for winning the Summer League?
Not a lot of credit because everybody uses Summer League different. Most teams aren't trying to win the thing. They're trying to, assess the talent that they have, from 1 to 12 after the 1 to 12. So, if they want to go all out and press full court and, run all kinds of plays and stuff, that's great.
What do you like to call yourself? All knower of most things sports.
Self-proclaimed expert on all things sports related.
Self-proclaimed, fans. Note that. Self-proclaimed of all things. A little trivia for you. Since COVID, who has won summer league since COVID? I'm not even asking you to give them to me in order. Just what teams have won summer league since COVID?
Cameron, I have no idea because I do not keep track of that kind of a thing. It's a glorified scrimmage. So I don't keep track of glorified scrimmages.
Okay.
The only scrimmage that I've ever, kept track of was when Lou Alcindor as a freshman beat the eventual national champions every time they played in practice.
I mean, you weren't around to kind of keep track.
No, but how remarkable is that? The team that ultimately wins a national championship, you never lost to them, ever.
He was taking it. They were taking it easy on him.
Were they
on the young freshman?
national champions?
The young freshman. They didn't
On
win
a
a
freshman
in practice.
Nobody
We're
takes
still- in practice.
Oh
Are we
my
talking about practice? Are we
Oh my
talking about practice?
Let us not forget they actually changed the rule in college basketball so that you couldn't actually dunk anymore. Because if you could dunk, well, I mean, how would that be like competitive balance?
Are we talking about practice? Are we talking about practice?
We're talking about summer league to death. So yeah, we're talking about practice.
Can you name one summer league MVP for the past 4 years? Just one.
For the past 4 years, no.
Yeah, including this year.
No.
Including this year. Can you name one?
No. Can you?
Isaiah Mobley, he don't ring a bell.
No.
Trendon Watford, he don't ring a bell.
You want me to turn my chair all the way around so that I can't even see? What did you say?
Shout out to Trendon.
What team does he play for again?
Shout out to Trendon.
And when did he do that? Play for who?
Oh wow, you're cold, man. That boy got a family. He got a family. His family might be watching this show.
Who was he playing for when he did that?
The Blazers.
Oh, okay. Cool.
The Portland Blazers.
Cool. Nope, don't remember it.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So what you saw summer league, what's your biggest takeaways, man? You want to talk about Bronny? You want to talk about Connect?
So
you have any takeaways?
We'll go three things. Number one,
okay.
They played Bronny entirely too much, which I cautioned them about doing.
Yeah, but hey, Rob deleted you from the text thread. Did he add you? Did he add you back, or did you call him up? Be like, yo, Rob, what's the deal?
No, he actually has not gotten back to me on that thread.
Oh, you on the outs? Oh, he didn't appreciate your feedback. He
understands the errors in his ways now.
He did.
Before he was trying to do his own thing and just like, just let me just, kind of showcase him a little bit, get the crowd hype. Like, no, that's not an NBA player, so you don't want to do that. But he went his own way. That's fine. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Number two, Zach Edey doing his thing.
Can he play? Zach Edey, is he gonna get time in the league?
Gonna get plenty of time. You can see it.
Plenty of time, he says.
He's a big dude, 16, 20 minutes a game. And number three, Connect Four.
Oh, look at that. He done came up with a nickname for him and everything.
Connect Four, yeah, he's ready to go.
I mean, you don't start him. You don't start him in the first game, do you?
Not in the first game, no.
I mean, he's your sixth man, first guy off the bench.
He's penciled in at number 7 right now. And that could change. It's fluid.
Who are you bringing off the bench before him?
Not sure just yet.
Vanderbilt?
He's a rookie, so we're gonna, slowly implement him into the system.
Oh, I forgot. Rob ain't talking to you right now, so you don't have the inside scoop with Rob. I'm curious as to who comes off the bench. I'm curious to who comes off the bench before that kid. When all you needed was a 3-point shooter. No, well, not excuse me. All you needed, but You certainly needed 3-point shooting, and he gives you 3-point shooting and playmaking. I'm curious to who comes off the bench before they do.
Well, don't worry about the Los Angeles Lakers. I think you should be a little bit more concerned about the Los Angeles Clippers at
Not
present,
really. Not really.
considering the comments made by
Mm.
Paul George as he was
These
leaving town.
Clippers will still make the playoffs. Uh, as for your squad,
Okay, well, push,
as for
punch
your
your chest
squad,
out there with some confidence. Then, okay, how many games Kawhi gonna play?
I mean, that's not that was not part of
That,
the
that
conversation.
doesn't that doesn't make any difference as to whether they make the
It,
playoffs or
it,
not.
it, it has some bearing. So you Cam Reddish is coming off the bench first.
Cam, I don't know what the rotation is going to be. Right now they're just trying to get their coaching staff cohesive. Get the spokesman out there first, and have everyone else work on everything else. So I don't know.
Oh, so they're taking the month off. While the
Well, I
Cam,
mean,
while the
Cam,
Cam
there's
is over there.
training camp after the Olympics. Anthony Davis and LeBron James will come back and reacclimate themselves into NBA hoop, and we'll go from there. I don't know what the practices look like. How am I going to pick the roster right now?
I mean, I figure you and Rob was communicating, but
Well, like I said,
you
Rob
just
went a
reminded
different
me.
direction. Rob went a
Rob
different direction with the Bronny
kicked you off
James
the
thing,
text thread.
and I told him it was going to happen. And hey, man, he hasn't really returned my texts ever since. And he did cut me off the thread with Jenny, which I thought was kind of rude.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we can help you redeem yourself and get that text thread back. Maybe we can help you with that. Okay. What do you think about Ricochet and SARS? The number 1 pick, number 1 and number 2 pick. You mentioned Connect 4, the steal of the draft, looking good. I don't know that he looked better than Reed, who looks like a little young Reed Shepard, who looks like a little young Mark Price. I don't know that he looks better than him, but what's your thoughts on Ricochet and SARS? Do you think they're going to be impactful rookies or not really?
Cam, I thought it was kind of strange that the 1 and 2 pick in the NBA draft were not on the French national team. It seemed to look like is France really just that stacked that these 2 players couldn't make it? But then from what I've been seeing in Summer League, the glorified scrimmage.
Oh, here we go. Oh, now you want to put some stock on it when you see the
Well, I mean, when you go 0 for 87, yeah, that make that okay. Wow, wasn't expecting 0 for 87, and then the number 1 pick. What do you do? Get out there for 20 minutes and hurt himself? Yeah. Oh, the Wizards and the Hawks and the Wizards, the Wizards and the Hawks. It's like, oh,
how quickly does the summer league matter? His thoughts on summer league change when we bring up SARS.
When you go 0 for 87, yeah. And when Ricochet can't get his shot off at all, it's like, ooh.
So what makes you confident in Connect 4? If you put no stock in summer league, it's a glorified pickup game. What gives you confidence in Connect 4?
Did he score like 46 one of those summer league games?
Oh, 46. No, I don't think he scored 46. But I'm just saying, if it's a glorified, and let's say he did score 46, if it's a glorified scrimmage, what gives you confidence in that kid? If what happens in summer league stays in summer league, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Why are you so confident?
Because they can't guard it from the 3-point line in the pros either. We knew they couldn't do it in college, and now he's in the pros, and they can't guard him either.
But you already established and made it clear to the fans listening tonight that summer league doesn't matter, but yet you want to put stock in what Dalton Connect did only because he wears the purple and gold. You see how things change?
Cam, you have to do small things. There's small intervals.
Fans,
we talked about this.
You guys hear this?
Do this, and then you don't have to play any more summer league, right? I thought Dalton played a few too many games, to be perfectly honest with you. He already showed. Okay, yeah. I get my shot off in the league.
You guys hear this? Just a couple seconds ago, when I asked him about the top 2 picks, all of a sudden
Yeah, of course.
he was laughing at their production.
They shut
But
down.
now Dalton Reed, they give him a starting jersey. Now he gets a
I didn't
starting.
say you're starting. You said it. You keep trying to
May
throw
as
me.
well.
I didn't
May
say
as well. You may as well. You said he gonna get 16, 20
nope.
points a game or 20
Nope.
minutes a
I
game.
said he had a good summer league. Training camps in September. See you there.
Zach Edey, you putting a lot of stock on Zach Edey, huh?
Yeah, he's dominating in summer league.
Coming off the bench. I mean, he'll be okay. I think coming off the bench,
Okay.
he'll be up. I mean, I don't know that he's ready to play full Steven Adams minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, again, Cam, I've expressed, and you probably forgot about this, but I usually don't really go to this aspect, but it is going to be a culture shock being in Memphis. That's going to be first and foremost what he needs to get used to. A-ball at MJG, rolling around. It's a little different than Purdue.
What you say, Bill Street? Bill Street ain't St. Elmo's.
And then be like, okay, yeah.
Bill Street ain't St. Elmo's bar. Oh, that's funny.
First and foremost, get used to that, and then get your game on.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. I mean, so he has an off quarter adjustment to make, huh? More significantly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the WNBA. They had their weekend. Why do you think it was that Caitlin Clark was she out of spite? Did she not perform in the 3-point contest? Was that out of spite? You think?
Well, it was her and Sabrina both didn't show up. I thought that would have been a great duel to kind of see what was going on there. Maybe they were both just holding out to do the NBA All-Star Weekend. I don't know, but it was a little bit suspect that neither one of them were in it.
Yeah, you say holding out to do the NBA where they can shoot against some men.
I mean, I don't know.
You think that's the thing? You think that's gonna happen again?
Oh yeah, that was big. That was huge.
So okay, are they shooting against Steph Curry? Who's coming out to shoot?
I don't know. They haven't said just yet, but hey man, Sabrina put quite a bit of pressure on Steph.
Yeah, he had turned it on in like the last couple of racks, but again, I mean, I can't see Steph going out there and doing that again. Like, are they gonna call us Splash Brother in Dallas? Say, let's see if you can compete with the girls.
Don't know.
Like,
don't know who they're calling, but they're gonna call somebody.
You think they're gonna have to pay somebody? They have to pay somebody to step up and compete. You think your boy the Kang would do that?
Not 3-point contest. Probably a Dame Dollar. Might Trey Young. Somebody like that.
So hold on, man. You guys see how he just kind of slicked by that. You see kind of how he just kind of creeped by that and then start throwing other people under the bus. You guys know? Did you guys anybody else catch that? So your guy won't do the dunk contest. He refused to do the dunk contest for his whole NBA career, and now he won't do the 3-point shooting contest.
So he's gotten to his 21st season trying to preserve his body as much as he can, and a slam dunk contest takes a bunch out of your body.
Okay, we're not. We already established he was a wimp, and he didn't have the confidence.
He never said he was an ace marksman, and that's what the 3-point contest is about. I mean, he shoots a very proficient percentage from the 3-point line, but that doesn't mean he's going to win the 3-point contest, Cameron.
So when he started doing
this out loud,
when he started doing this stuff here,
I mean, we're talking about the flag bearer, at the Olympics for the United States of America.
Oh, yeah. So step up and face some competition. You step up and face some competition. We're talking about women here competing. All right, we're not talking about you going against Steph Curry, against Reed Shepherd, against Booker, Devin Booker. We're not talking about you going up against Kevin Durant. We're talking about you going up against Caitlin Clark.
So why are you detracting? Where's Sabrina right now? Why are you detracting from what the WNBA players can do? They can shoot from long range.
This is the second week he called her for Sabrina. You
They
think
can
she
shoot,
can
they
save
can
you?
shoot from long range, Cameron. They've proven that over and over again. I believe what was it last year? Ionescu didn't miss no shots. Crazy. That's not what the Kang does. The Kang just wins.
It's a complete crap.
Yeah, that he hasn't competed in the dunk contest, and now Cleveland don't want to let him compete in the 3-point shooting contest. He advises them not to compete. Man, that's garbage. That's garbage. I hear you.
The flag bearer for the United States of America at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Of all the athletes they could have chosen, they chose LeBron James. What an honor. Maybe they would have chose Kawhi, but he didn't want to. He wasn't able to go. I think he was second on the list.
Why you keep mentioning somebody's name? Why you keep mentioning Kawhi's name? Why is he living rent free in your head? You gonna answer that? Can you answer that one?
No, I got nothing to say about Kawhi.
What do you think about Alicia Gray winning the skills competition and the 3-point shooting competition?
I like it, showing a well-rounded game. You know, it was
I think that was the first time ever.
Yeah, and hopefully, in the future there'll be some championships to back that up.
Did
it is All-Star Weekend. I know fans. You know how much Cam likes to put stock into these exhibition All-Star like events. I don't put nearly as much into it as he does, but at the same time, good job,
man. Did you like the 3-on-3 contest? 3-on-3, it wasn't really aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have the name recognition, I guess, for that competition. I mean, the rules were cool because it's legit 3-on-3 rules. They didn't really alter the rules. Everybody know you got to get the rebound, you got to take it back, right? You got to clear it before you go and score again. But what's your thoughts on the 3-on-3 competition? Did you watch it at all?
I didn't see a whole lot of it. I saw some highlights. I mean, it was you probably do without that one.
You didn't miss it. So the TNT, Amazon made their big deal, right? ESPN made their deal. Amazon made their deal. TNT had a clause where language in the contract where they can
match the offer.
Yeah, they can match the offer, but they didn't want to match the offer. But their option in their clause was they could match the offer. They matched the offer. NBA's like, thanks, but no thanks. They want to take the $1.8 billion from Amazon to televise the games. Now, you said all along that Barkley it's a money play for him. He's not going to retire from basketball, and which he has said that. Barkley said he's going to retire from commentating and not going to work for another station. That's what he said. Like Ernie Johnson said, that made it clear that he's not going anywhere else. Shaq, we already know we'll see Shaq. We see Shaq on NBA TV. We already know we'll see Shaq on Amazon Prime, right? Without question. I don't have no doubt about that. No doubt it, right? Kenny Smith, a little question. I believe he'll be. Years ago he said he wanted to coach. Maybe this is his opportunity to go coach. Maybe, I don't know. But I know he'll be doing something around the game, if not doing his commentating. He used to have. I don't know. I haven't seen him promoted in a while time, but he used to have where the guys come visit the home, sit down and talk. Remember they used like the MTV Cribs Well, he was going to their house. Excuse me. He was going to their house. He was doing that MTV Cribs ish stuff. You remember that?
Dude.
Um, so I don't know if he's still doing that, but I imagine we'll see Kenny again if he doesn't get into coaching. You got Ernie Johnson said he's not leaving TNT. His dad worked for TNT. Ernie Johnson was on who was it? Hank Aaron hit the home run, broke the home run record. Aaron, uh, and your guy Hank Aaron was at the home, or Ernie Johnson was at home plate. Round as Hank Aaron rounded third base, Ernie Johnson was there interviewing him, right, fresh out of college. So I doubt for TNT. So I doubt he's leaving TNT. But Charles, you still holding fact that Charles doesn't come back, or Charles just pushes for more money?
He's not pushing for more money, but I mean, there's money involved, man. Yeah, they're going to give him so much money that he is going to change his mind.
It's so much money. Who can replace Charles Barkley as far as commentating? As far as
there's all kinds of options. I mean,
you think so?
I mean, look into this, man. If you really, because I was kind of dumbfounded when they said like, no, you can't match it. I'm like, that's weird because I thought it was in the contract. But
they can match it. NBA said no.
Cameron, listen.
Okay, go ahead.
When I saw the response, it had nothing to do with dollar amounts. It had everything to do with the access and the reach that Amazon has and the number of subscribers that they have and the way that the NBA content is going to be received, and that TNT just was not a platform that could facilitate that. It didn't really have anything to do with the number because they came out with the exact same number. Okay, 1.8. Okay, 1.8. And they still said no. And the other thing they said is that it didn't really represent what Amazon was going to bring. So it wasn't like an apples to apples comparison. It wasn't just this number, give me a 1.8 billion over this period of time. It was all the other things that came with it. And so it was just kind of like, man, you guys are old. I'm so sorry. You guys have been great for us forever and we love you, but we're not going to like go into another 11-year commitment and you guys are all in your 60s. Like, that's just not, they just said no. They tried to do it as polite as possible.
Look at Cleveland, because their rejection note was very pat you on the head type. Take your what did your boy from Jerry Tarkanian have the wet towel? It was very pat you on the head, take your wet towel, and just chew on the towel for another minute or two, because we're going elsewhere. So great point, Cleveland. Awesome point that you made. Congratulations. I think that might be the best point you made all season, all year long, Cleveland. Great, excellent point. Right there. Isn't it wild? But TNT is not a platform that will garner viewers
going forward. How people
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that like that's saying that boob tube that you got sitting in your living room, that ain't the market. that ain't it. And that's obviously everybody has a cell phone and everybody's watching videos on YouTube, and we get where the world is going. But it's just wild to think that the NBA says we've been doing this for so long on this network. We're done. We're going somewhere else now. And when you break it down how you just did, they were doing so much more with their platform. Amazon is. They got so many more subscriptions right now. Right now, July 2024, I venture to bet that they quadruple the viewership of TNT. But that was
And
TNT.
Amazon is one of those things that can be worldwide, right? So when you're growing the game worldwide,
Yeah.
people worldwide are don't have the TNT app; they have the Amazon app.
Right, right. That's crazy though. Just that's great. I mean, I remember so a couple stories. I remember when TNT was on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. This is back in the 90s. The NBA on TNT Tuesday and Thursday nights. Two games. There was two games on Tuesday night, two games on Thursday night. I remember.
Take it back further, Cam. Remember when Ted Turner owned the Atlanta Hawks and had TBS, so all the Atlanta Hawks games was on TBS.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then they got TNT and did the whole NBA. So I mean, they've been entrenched in this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've been dominated. So it's very interesting that I mean, it's just a sign of the time, what it is, and then you broke it down eloquently of kind of where it's gone. I remember. So I met a guy. I was covering. No, I don't think I was covering sports. I think I just went to. I think I went to a Laker game because had this conversation like in the 100 level, and this is kind of I'm walking down to my seats past the cameraman, right? And the cameraman just chilling. This is again, I was paying a lot of money, fans. I want to see the player introductions. I want to see the reps shake hands. I wanted to see the ball toss. I want to see all of that because I'm paying my money. And unless it was a 30-point blowout, I wasn't leaving the building until final tip or final whistle. Okay. So I'm there early, and the guy's just chilling. Like, I mean, he's just chilling, waiting for the game to. He was in position, waiting for the game to start. And so I was like, okay. So I asked him. I was like, "What is your schedule like?" Because it was a TNT game. I was like, "What is your schedule like?" Well, I live in Kansas City. I fly in, record the game. I got to pack up my camera. I was like, "Is that your camera or is that the company camera?" Oh no, it's a company camera. I just bring my accessories. I was like, "So, will you do more games this week? Do you stay in town tomorrow?" He's like, "No, I go back home tomorrow. I catch the plane out tomorrow." What about Thursday? Do you stay? Are there times where you will stay in the city a couple days? Obviously, it's going to be LA or New York where they have two teams. Like maybe the Clippers play on Thursday night. I don't remember exactly what night this was or what game it was, but I was talking to the guy and he was like, "No, I fly in, fly out, do the game, and they let me know where they need me, and then I could be in Memphis tomorrow, or I can be in Minnesota tomorrow, or wherever they need the game." I was like, "That's interesting." He said, "Yeah, I may shoot 3 games a week. I may shoot 3 games a week, get paid scale." I was like, "Okay, that's pretty dope. You get travel around." Then we got to talking about like what are the best games you've recorded, your most memorable moment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I say all that to say that these guys have been severely impacted. The whole TNT crew, the where they do Atlanta, they have the whole studio show in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're going to be impacted. I mean, a lot of them probably will just sign over with Amazon. I would suspect half of them. Just I did this for TNT. Here's my resume. Boom. Let me get the job producing or gripping or whatever the job is. But that's all those guys are being impacted. It's not just we see Kenny, Eddie,
people like in the front line, right? It's everybody, and
everybody impacted.
And that was what I thought was very sincere with what Chuck was saying. Is that he's been a part of this family for 25 years, and he's just so accustomed to all of this, and working with these people, and he's just become accustomed to doing it a certain way, and it would be too much. But I think he's wrong.
You think he just? Well, the thing is that if they take half the crew, like there's not going to be a lot different than what you're already doing, right? Or what you've done for many years.
Cameron, they're just going to give him the Count of Monte Cristo deal, and he's just going to take it.
And I'm saying that half the crew, if they take half the crew, that argument that he has is the family aspect, and
him and Shaq come for sure. Kenny, he might be a little bit old. They might bring some of the other younger cats. Our guy King 206 over here, Jamal Crawford, he's got a decision to make. Man.
No, Jamal ain't got no decision to make. There's no Jamal ain't that entrenched with TNT. It's like
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you want to be?
He's not holding out. He's not holding out. It's not like he gonna hold out. They're like, do you want to do some commentating? We got a spot for you, Jamal.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna have a spot. He had a great second half of the season. He did a great job on NBA TV. So
yeah, he is on a little segment as well. But I don't to talk back to my original question is you say they're just gonna give Chuck the bag and he's gonna have to come back. Okay. But let's say he didn't. Is there anyone who can replace Chuck? Now, obviously, Charles Barkley wasn't. Everybody didn't see him as being this big time commentator and the guy who would just say anything. Now we knew he would do anything.
Chuck, listen. So to answer your question, replacing Charles Barkley from a broadcasting perspective is the equivalent of trying to replace John Madden.
Yeah.
It's like you can get somebody in there that understands football, but you just won't embrace in the same way.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird, man. It's gonna be. We get one more final year out of these guys, and obviously this is gonna be the. It should be pretty cool because every night it's gonna be like the ceremonials night. They probably won't talk about it much until we get late.
Oh no, it's gonna be huge all year.
You think all year?
Oh my God, every game. Jesus Christ!
You're not gonna want to miss it. You're not gonna want to miss it. I know that.
Oh my God,
I don't think they're really gonna dwell on it till.
No.
Maybe the playoffs.
All year. Because every time they are interviewing somebody, they're going to be like, man, I can't believe you're not going to be here. Can't believe you're not going to be here.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. It's going to be interesting to watch. I mean, it's already been a must-see TV. Even though Amazon has umpteen many more eyeballs watching it, is it going to be the same? Or is it going to be the same? Is it going to be
the content will be dramatically different. It will not be anything nearly as authentic as what those guys were bringing. I mean, it's Amazon. They try, but you can always tell that they're just trying too hard. Like even like the NFL stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay. Do you
Patrick and Sherman and Gonzalez?
I mean, they had way too many guys. They had way too many people.
It seems contrived, right? Like it doesn't really seem authentic. It doesn't seem genuine. It just seems like they're just trying to be like over the top. Like just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because what did they have? 6 people on set, and then they had your boy Offset. Give them an editorial.
Yeah, and they do the little concert after the thing. It's like, what is like? Okay.
Well, they're trying to bring in fans. They're trying to bring in fans. Yeah. We already know they got Amazon Prime, so why not entertain them pre and post game? Yeah, that's bananas. That is absolutely bananas. So I bust your chops about paying your cable bill. But I cut the cord. It took a moment. It took a moment, fans. When I realized I could actually live without having DirecTV, I didn't think for. I remember Cleveland the first year. It was 2001, 2002, and I was like, they told me, well, yeah, you can have every football game. You can have the clicker with every game on the station. I'm like, what?
I had it. Yeah.
What? I could get the NFL network or NFL package with every single game on TV?
Every single one.
I was like, oh, I need that. Give me all of that. I brought in a second TV. To make sure I wasn't missing nothing. So that was for 16 years. 16 years, then I realized, and then okay, maybe I don't need maybe I don't need to have every game. Like, nah, I do need to have every game. If I could push the button that the game on, I need to have that access. And then I realized I moved. And I realized that I didn't have. I could survive without it. I didn't for 15 years. I didn't think I could survive without that Sunday package. Then I realized I could survive without it. Okay, not so bad. Now I can just go to a bar. I can just go to a bar and make sure I get the Dolphins on the TV, Seahawks in the afternoon. Go watch the Dolphins and Seahawks, and then just watch the best game. Make sure I'm going to see
Yeah,
the best
that's,
game on
that's that's
TV.
that's really funny that you tell that story. So, um, with regards to that, there's two things that make that story really really funny. Is that number one? If you go someplace and they just don't want to turn the TV to
No,
the
no,
game
no,
you're talking about,
no, no.
listen,
That's not an option.
listen,
That,
listen, listen,
that's not
listen,
an option. Okay, go ahead.
listen. Then you're in a full blown melee at the sport.
Yes.
A full blown melee. And I don't really need a full blown melee per se, because you won't turn to the Seahawks game because you just don't want to. I don't understand. There's all these televisions in here.
Yeah.
Part two. And this is when I knew that I had to have the cord. I went down this is 2 years ago to my cousin's house for Christmas, right? And I think this is the first time that they were just killing them with the NFL on Christmas, right? And so she had the YouTube TV, right? Streaming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it would just glitch.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
And glitch. And I'm like, wow, that's okay. You want to know why it's okay? Because I am not at my house.
Right.
I was at my house, I would break the glitching like that, but I'm not. I'm at
Right.
my cousin's house. So,
Right.
oh, okay. Oh, it's free. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm a gambler. I'm a fantasy football player. Like, no.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna be glitching me for 4 hours. No.
No, I you're right. Those are a couple things. But so here I've been going to the bar. With the first bar, man, it was crazy. The first place I went to, and like you're saying, when they don't want to change the channel, but these guys don't even know what channels the games are on. I'm like, how you in a bar and you got 7 TVs and don't know which channel the game is on?
And then when you call the person, they don't know how to work the thing. They don't know how to work
the girl. The girl gave me the remote. Here, you want the remote? Absolutely. Give it right over here. I'll figure this out. Didn't know what channel they had. Yeah, that was
asked you to turn to the Dolphins game, right? And all of a sudden I'm in charge. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I got now. Okay, now I get all the TVs, and then they're like, "Can you turn this game on?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. That'll be another beer, please." Because now you got me changing the channels. I mean, that's worth the beer, right? If you got me, you don't want to do it, or you don't know how. That's worth the beer. And so every time somebody asks me to change, absolutely. Please give me another beer right over here, please. So that was cool. But yeah, man, it was. Now it's on Amazon. You're gonna have to have Amazon Prime, and hopefully
you have to go into the portal and stay in the portal.
Yeah,
that's the other thing I don't like about all of these apps, man. Like I can't change the channel.
Yeah. But that in the ads they're gonna hit you with.
I'm okay with the ads. I'm okay with if I can I have to come out of the thing and then go back into the thing.
More
and then out of the thing. I don't
it's gonna take some programming and some fan response for them to get it right. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But we already see it with the NFL, so we get a taste of it with the NFL. Just with
I don't like it with the NFL. I don't like it with Major League Baseball. It's corny. Like, at least give me the option to be like one of the channels, man. I don't want to go into your shit and stay in your shit. I hate that.
So would you pay? So the deal is, So you pay an extra $4 on your cable bill to have ESPN in their channel. Would you pay an extra $4? Is $7 for your cable to have Amazon Prime?
If I could leave and come back, yeah.
I mean, if you could have it, if it could be
One of the channels that I can
channel
turn
36, channel
Yeah.
36, you get Amazon. Channel 37, you get Amazon Prime. Like, but Amazon don't want to. They make so much money. They don't want to get in bed with cable TV. They don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
I understand the way the world is evolving. I
Yeah.
didn't say I wasn't old. I didn't say that I wasn't set in my ways. I was just saying these are the challenges that I have.
No, you're absolutely. What is a Peacock? The Peacock. I mean, you have to do that for Peacock to watch the games when it's on Peacock, right?
Yeah. And the NBA, I think, has so many different ones. It's like 3 different ones.
Yeah, well, it will have. You have your natural ESPN, then it's gonna be.
And clearly they don't care. Like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
No, because like as you mentioned, Cleveland, after you mentioned in the jump, you already have Amazon Prime. You already have it. You're just gonna have to click on the button and make sure it works. But Peacock was NBC stuff. NBC can actually flip it over and give us the channel.
Peacock started experimenting with this with the NFL last year.
That's what I'm saying. Peacock, if they actually could put it on the channel on NBC, but they're like, no, we want you guys to download the app and watch it on the app. And then if half America does it, they're like, okay, good. Well, they're good. Everybody else will jump on board sooner or later. If they want to see, and what did they?
The games will only get bigger. They're only get more important if I have a Week 14 game.
Yeah, they just
Texans against the Cowboys. You're going to pay. Trust me.
People gonna tune into the NFL.
You'll be stubborn till Week 14.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's wild, man. That's the way the world is going. That's the way the world is going, man. So TNT, the final season on covering the NBA. NBA is gonna be moving over to ESPN, Amazon Prime. We gotta get on board. We got to get on board. Cleveland, are you okay with Justin Love not practicing this week and just kind of sitting in because he wants a new deal?
I am 100% okay with Jordan Love being at practice. Being at practice, observing. Yeah.
Is he? I mean, he's gonna get. I mean, this is what happened with your boy in Jacksonville. They way overpaid for Trevor Lawrence. They're gonna have to do the same thing for Jordan Love, aren't they?
Well, unfortunately, Jacksonville has reset the market for quarterbacks that have not won or have only won one playoff game. So Jordan Love has done that. So yeah, that's what's up.
And yeah, he's making it. Jordan Love is making it tough. Well, it's going to make it even more tough for Dak and Tua down there. Who do you blame in the Hassan Reddick situation? The Jets traded for Hassan Reddick with the understanding that Hassan Reddick was going to come to camp and they can work on a deal. He gets he's like, no, I'm not going to come.
Blame the Jets. You have to blame the Jets. You can't blame the player.
So what's up with your boy Salah? We heard Eric. I know you put a lot of faith in what Eric has to say. You heard Eric say Salah hasn't been able to get that culture going correctly.
No, the culture is great. It is completely defensive minded. He's going to have to open up and have a little bit more ear to the offense, obviously this year. But no, he's got complete total control of his defense and understands where his bread is buttered.
Do you believe Dak should be the highest paid player in the league, quarterback in the league?
No,
as it stands. So when the Cowboys offer him $60 million before the year is over, I mean, the Cowboys really they're blowing the situation. The same with CeeDee Lamb, and they're likely to do it with your guy Podcast Parsons. Just why are they waiting? I mean, what sense does it make? They already tagged Dak. He played a full season, got him to the playoffs. They should have paid him in the offseason.
Yeah, because he's proven to be serviceable. He's proven to be a really good quarterback. He's not proven to be an elite quarterback.
That's fair enough. He is a fourth round draft pick. He was drafted in the fourth round.
Quarterback money, and he has not produced in the playoffs. So that's where the problem arises.
But it's not like you have a better.
You don't have a better alternative.
He's good enough. He's good enough that you guys are going to win 9-10 games anyway. Be second place in the AFC or
Jerry
NFC.
Jones, man, 9-10 games is not gonna get it done in Dallas.
No. But what I'm saying is that you're going to be above average team. You're going to be an above average team. You're not going to be so bad that you're in the top 10 draft picks of the. You know what I mean? You're not going to be that bad. You're not going to have a 3-game season to where the final couple weeks you're deciding whether you're going to have a top 4 or 5 pick. That's not going to be their scenario. They're going to be in the mid-tier team, above average. So what's that? They're going to be 16.
So here's the problem, Cameron. Is that the bottom 5 teams? If you said I'll trade Dak Prescott for 2 first-round picks, they wouldn't take it. He hasn't proven to do anything. So now you're just getting like a really reliable quarterback that can get us maybe to the playoffs.
What's good, Boots?
What's up, Boots?
Long time no see, buddy.
That's what Dak's problem is.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of the season, they go 11-6.
Mm-hmm.
Losing a wild card round. You let him walk, or do you start Trey Lance? And then
you let him walk. You determine whether you think Trey Lance is a viable option or solution, and then you do other things.
Yeah, man, they should have drafted a quarterback in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round last year. I mean, at least you'll have somebody.
Well, no, they should have done that because they already had Trey Lance, number 2 pick in the draft 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, so do they have? They must have had confidence in Trey Lance, and you sound like you guys have confidence.
We don't know. What we know is that they don't have a whole lot of confidence in Dak Prescott getting them to a Super Bowl, or he would already be signed.
So in the same scenario happens, the Dolphins make it to the wild card round, losing the first round. Should the Dolphins give Tua the big bag?
Oh, Tua's getting the big bag before all that, man.
Well, how is Tua any different? How is Tua any different?
Led the league in passing last year.
All of a sudden, you want to come with stats, Cleveland? You going to come with regular season stats, Cleveland? Is that what you're going to give me? All of a sudden, you're going to come with regular season stats. Dak has more winning seasons than Tua does.
Sure does.
But you want to give me he led the league in passing. That's all you got? What happened in December? What happened in December?
Quite an arsenal of receivers. He's mastered the McDaniel offense. He's ready to go. Take that team to at least the wild card game.
I mean, again, that's not saying much. From what you just said, they made the wild card.
They take care of business and play warm weather games in January, at least one. They have a much better chance.
This is what you non-Miami Dolphin fans don't recognize. In the last week of the season, if they beat Buffalo at home, they play Buffalo again at home in the first round of the playoffs. But they lost. They know going in there, we win, we stay home. We lose, we go to Kansas City.
Cam, you can't put all that on Tua Tagovailoa. It's a team game. It's a team game.
Who's the quarterback?
You win.
There's only one guy on the hook. There's going to be one guy on the hook, or at the
Cameron,
table to make $55 million. There's only one guy. That's not the team.
Cameron,
That's not the
you
team.
lose as a team, and the market for top tier quarterbacks is $250 million.
Yeah.
Where do I sign?
Him and Dak. I mean, I might call Dak in the offseason. Yo, Dak, come holler at me. Come holler at me, bro. Dak. They didn't treat you. Jerry didn't treat you right in Dallas. We can treat you better. We're gonna give you 50 million, Dak. We gonna give you 50 million. We ain't giving you 60, but we'll give you 50. Come over and put on the aqua.
I know how you like to lowball the Cats.
Come on over again. Come on, Dak. We need to spread it around, Dak.
Yeah. Cameron brings out his own spreadsheet that has nothing to do with the rest of the league. It just says,
come on.
This is how I feel about you. This is how I feel about you. I feel you worth about 50.
We gonna spread it around. You're gonna have the best wide receiving core in the NFL. We got Hill on one side, we got Waddle on the other side. We got some running backs.
I'm fine long term because man, it was Tua throwing the ball to me. Now you got Dak throwing the ball to me. I don't know. He's not happy.
No, you know what Tyreek is gonna say. Oh yeah, Dak. I told you guys 2 years ago, Dak was the best quarterback in the NFL. Tyreek Hill just gonna change whatever quarterback throwing the ball. That's all of a sudden the best quarterback. That's what he's gonna do.
You don't believe it.
Is there a better chance that Brandon Ayuk signs with the 49ers or CeeDee Lamb signs with the Cowboys? What's the best chance? Or maybe I should ask who signed first.
Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk signed first?
Mm-hmm.
So what? Okay, so you gave me they don't believe in Dak as a reason why they haven't signed Dak, the Cowboys, which is hard to argue because they have 2 years to sign him. They haven't signed him. What's their logic with CeeDee Lamb? As soon as Justin Jefferson signed for his $34 million a year, they should have been like, "Yo, you're not Justin Jefferson. Here's 32."
It is the same problem that they have with Dak. He thinks that he is super elite, like top
Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah. He thinks he should be getting more money than Justin Jefferson.
No, he doesn't. He can't think that. He can't. I mean, he could. I guess he could. He should.
He thinks he should be getting more money than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra, what 30? I mean, he might be 32.5 or something like that.
Hey,
I mean, you got to come in. He got to come in right there. I mean, he got to be in the top 5
for CeeDee Lamb. Wow. Okay.
You don't think so?
It's hard. It's a hard question to ask. If you look me in my eye and I had to do it, I would say no.
Wait. How many wide receivers are better than CeeDee Lamb?
10, 12.
Oh, stop it. Stop. Cut it out. 10, you got 12. You got 12 receivers better than CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Cleveland, cut it out. Come on. We talked about receivers last week, fans, but we're gonna have to do this again.
You didn't hear CeeDee Lamb on my list, maybe on your list.
Cleveland, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, this is fantasy football, but CeeDee Lamb is a
35 receptions.
Look. Here we go. AJ Brown better than CeeDee Lamb?
Yes.
Justin Jefferson better than CeeDee Lamb? Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yes.
Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Tyreek Hill?
Yes.
All right, that's 6 right there. Puka Nacua better than CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. Garrett Wilson better than CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, sure.
Chris Olave better than CeeDee Lamb?
No.
Devontae Adams better than CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say Devontae. That's 7 legit. The 7 legit. Puka, Garrett Wilson. Come on.
That was 8 legit.
Puka, I'm not counting Puka and Garrett Wilson. I'm not giving you.
You're counting Garrett. You don't want to count Puka. I understand. That's a very small sample size, but you're counting Garrett Wilson.
Mike Williams or Michael Pittman better than CeeDee Lamb? No. Mike Evans better than CeeDee Lamb? No.
A little older, a lot of production, but no.
Marvin Harrison, he not better. Drake London?
Maserati Marv, yeah.
Ooh.
Drake London, no.
He never caught Marvin Harrison hasn't even caught a
It's
pass in
already
the
there. The
NFL.
CD Lamb. Moving right along.
Woo! So okay, so you have him. That's 8 right there. Marvin Harrison, Devontae Adams. You said right.
Yeah.
You say Garrett Wilson. That's 9. You have a. Oh my goodness. Nico Collins,
Not quite.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this new offense, I think so.
Oh, hold on. And this new offense. Any offense.
Not any offense, but I like the scrub offense. I like the way they're going to use them. Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk. Brandon.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Deebo Samuels.
Yeah.
So you have him. I think you have him at 11 right now. What did you say originally?
I said
11 or
12, man. You are running out of names. Let's
no, we have to be at 11. Stephon Diggs.
I don't know what to think of him.
I mean, he was probably a couple years ago, not tomorrow.
Probably not tomorrow. So no.
Cooper Kupp.
No.
Jalen Waddle. We're talking about CeeDee Lamb. I mean, we're talking about CeeDee Lamb.
Probably
6'2".
Probably not.
Speed, hands. Come on.
Devontae
Smith.
No.
Zay Flowers.
So how much is so Devontae, what was he at 30? You got to start there, right?
No, no. He's solidly between 30 and 35.
Yeah,
but he's not ahead of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, so pick a number, man. Like, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know why he. I didn't know why
you are already to 12 receivers, man, and we haven't really gotten into the deep weeds yet. You're already at 12.
Wow, that's crazy. You put. Okay, so who the hell do they sign then?
They don't know. They have a bunch of players that have not proven that they can go to war with them. They can take them to a certain level and make them competitive, but they cannot get over the threshold.
So next season, Micah gets the bag regardless.
Yeah.
Next season, Micah gets $40 million. But you're hemming and hawing over CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott.
Yes, and so are the Dallas Cowboys. If this was Trey and Michael Irvin, they get signed, right?
I understand Dak. I get Dak.
It's Dak and CD.
CD, you gotta pay the kid, man. He's been productive.
I don't like
you drafted him. You drafted him, and he performed for you guys.
I don't like his attitude, man.
What do you mean? What attitude? Get down and ball out every game?
The lights get too bright for him.
No, not CeeDee Lamb. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. You saw the Packer game, man.
That wasn't him. His quarterback was shaky. That wasn't the receiver. Come on, man. You're no, that wasn't him. You're not recognizing who CeeDee Lamb is. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. CeeDee Lamb as a rookie, 74 receptions, 935 yards.
Oh man, do not stat me to death about CeeDee Lamb, man.
This is what he's done.
Do not stat me to death about CeeDee Lamb. I do not need to hear it, man. It's way too early in training camp. Pay him or don't pay him. I already told you why I wouldn't pay him all that money.
135 receptions, 1,750 yards last year.
I just said that, and you cut me off. Like, so what? I got that part.
Led the league with catches. What are you talking about? Man, how do you not pay this kid?
Him either. You are just statting me to death.
No, I pay CeeDee Lamb.
You would not give CeeDee Lamb Justin Jefferson money.
No,
You
I don't.
would
I
not.
don't pay him. I don't pay him
And
over.
I already see how short your arms are when you're digging in your pockets. So you're already at 28, 29. Take this and be happy, CD.
Well, I call CD in the office. I call
Yeah.
CD in the office.
Like I'll give you a couple of extra kegs.
It'd be like, dog,
You know,
dog.
I give you extra Escalade.
I mean, yeah,
I just can't give you
I
35
give you a spot on the ranch, but come on, dog.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, you can't. He doesn't get Justin Jefferson money. I mean, Justin Jefferson. Besides, Justin Jefferson by his week 6, Justin Jefferson is gonna be acting like Stephon Diggs. He's gonna be unhappy. He's not. I mean, he's gonna be who's
And
throwing the ball?
why is he going to be unhappy?
Because he don't have a quarterback throwing him the ball.
Because he can't throw the ball to himself.
There you go. So CD Lamb, this is what we need out of you, buddy. Here's 30. Here's 30 for 3 years, 100 million, 115 million. I give you $20 million signing bonus tomororh.
Okay, and
but you need to take 30.
And he'll be
so I can get your quarterback.
Sweats till November when you absolutely have to play the game to get the registered season.
No, I don't think. Man, he can't be holding out for
Justin
Jefferson money. He can't be holding out. I mean, yeah, he can. I don't think that's it. CD Lamb. He could be, but CD, come on, dog. You have to think, be logical. Like, sure, everybody want to get their money, but you gotta be a team player too now. Like, we can't pay everybody.
Well, look at you playing both sides of the fence. Okay, well, pick a side.
No, I want to pay you. I'm gonna pay you handsomely.
You don't want to pay nobody.
I'm gonna pay you handsomely.
You don't want to pay nobody.
I can't give my wide receiver 35 and then the quarterback 60. Like, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
I know. So, that's why you have a McDowell's franchise. I understand.
Wow. Some of the fans, some of these guys don't even get that reference. Some of these fans don't even get that.
A little over their head, but yeah, you got it. You understand.
Man, that's kind of unfair. I mean, that's unfair. All right, big dog. So check it out. Miami Dolphins season training camp not going off to a good start. We're not going to get off to a good start. We brought in Shaq Barrett to kind of, if Chubbs wasn't healthy, if Jalen Phillips wasn't ready to go, but in the next month, we had a veteran edge rusher to get after the quarterback. I mean, something happened in practice for him to say, nah, I don't want to do this.
It's hard to say it no more, Cam. Sometimes it's just a play, a moment, and they just understand that it's all they just don't have. They
ain't even put on the pants. You ain't even put on the uniform yet. So something ain't happening. I'm not buying it. His body just didn't feel right. He didn't work out.
Something spoke to him. His heart wasn't there.
That's what I'm saying. Something happened. So he decides to shut it down. Odell Beckham is on the PUP list. I knew this shit wasn't gonna work out. Excuse me. I knew this wasn't gonna work out. The PUP list, uneligible to perform, player uneligible to perform, meaning if he's not suited up, if he's not off this list, if he goes starts the season on this list, he's out for like 3 weeks straight, without a question. It might be 4 weeks. I knew this wasn't. I knew that wasn't gonna work. Guys, come on, McDaniel. We have Tyreek Hill on one end. You have Jalen Waddle on the other end. Man, I should have went down there and ran some routes for him. I can see if I could. I'm gonna get open. That there no who's guarding that man when you got Tyreek and Waddle on both sides of you.
Well, there's all that film of ODB in that Giants uniform making them one-handed catches back in the day.
Man, what was that? 10 years ago?
So they're hoping for some
10 years ago.
They're hoping for some flashes of that brilliance, and plus he did win a Super Bowl with the Rams, not all that long ago. So they're hoping to rekindle some of that magic.
the Rams game where he got hurt at halftime. That game, you know about?
Well, they did ultimately win the Super Bowl. I think he did catch a touchdown in that game. So.
But he was hurt at halftime, right? He didn't finish the game, right? That guy, that game.
That game, yeah.
Come on. This is a bad omen right here. This is a bad omen. And Tyreek Hill, I mean, he over here making a flag football team. Like the one that does
him and Nick Cannon are in a close competition.
Helping day in the running for competing with each other. The one thing I do like about that, I mean, go get yours, man. Do you? I'm not disappointed at all. But that puts pressure on him to keep playing. You know, and for you want to make this big time money, you're gonna have to keep performing. And I mean, I'm talking about on the field and not, behind the doors. You're gonna have to perform on the field. So this puts pressure on him to continue to perform.
Man,
right?
Get out of that man's head. Why are you trying to be all rational and logical about this? You don't know what Tyreek Hill is thinking about, man. You don't know what pressure or not pressure is putting on him. I get the feeling he doesn't really care what's going on. He's just living his life in the 305, and it's great.
Well, we all can say what he got going on. He don't got no pullout game. That's one thing we can say. That's clear, right?
I mean,
that's very evident, Tyreek. You need to work on
a few other questions we could ask, but it's none of my business.
I mean, you need to work on some planks or something, dog. And then the two in the building, but Ross ain't taking his phone calls. And okay. I know why Ross ain't accepting that phone call. He said, see, what is Hawaii 808? He see 808 on the phone. That goes right to voicemail.
Okay, well, keep playing around.
I mean,
draft the Ohio State quarterback number, with your first round pick next year. Try and run it back.
No, most Ohio State quarterbacks don't work out. We got one in the last 20 years that actually panned out so far, and it's early. The jury's still early. Cleveland. Let's talk about strategy, fantasy football strategy. Fantasy football season is coming, fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be here before you know it. So, show note: we're gonna be off. We're gonna be off next week. So no show next week. However, in the following weeks is gonna be right in. We don't talk fantasy football the month of August. So we gotta get it in right now, Cleveland. When you just again, what's your strategy? Obviously, it varies. If you have the third pick in a 12-man draft, is different if you have the 9th pick in a 12-man draft, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it kind of varies. Generally speaking, and you can tell me where I'm wrong or where you disagree with me if you care to. In a PPR league, you probably would go running back, receiver, running back, quarterback. Would you go that route?
Cam, it really depends on what is the best player available.
Just the way he opened it up. Just the way he opened up, fans.
I need at the time, and what the rankings of the players that are still available are. So
let's go. Generally speaking, you have number 4 pick. You have the number 4 pick in a PPR league, Cleveland. What would be your order of selection?
Right. Well, Cam, there should still be a quite a viable running back there. So I would probably take the highest running back there, depending on what the other teams did, in front of me. But like, say for example, Christian McCaffrey is still there at 4. I would take him at number 4.
Fans, you guys can see I'm not getting the truth. We're not getting the truth. We're trying to do an educational show where we educate the fans, the fans, on fantasy football strategy. And you see the BS I'm getting from this guy. I'm not sure how many leagues Christian Jackson McCaffrey is going to be available in the 4th pick.
I
Is
don't know.
that one of your leagues where you got Christian McCaffrey in the fourth?
It depends on what the other teams, determine what is important to them and who they think might be a breakout star or player in their league. I don't know.
I mean, in the last 2 years, have you got Christian Jackson McCaffrey?
I also have not had them before pick, so I can't.
Where were you picking last year?
I think I was like 7 or so.
So what was your strategy? Who did you pick? I should have looked this up first.
Again, I don't remember who the best player was.
So I couldn't get him to lie.
Don't recall who the best.
Let me see if I can pull this up because I know he's not telling the truth, fans. He's not being
don't recall
right
who the best player available was at that time, but I picked the best available player at that time.
Sure you did. But let me see right now. Let me see if I can pull this up.
It might have been Jamar Chase, maybe. I don't recall exactly who it was.
Because Cleveland is telling a bold-faced lie right now, fans, and he ought to be ashamed of himself for trying to deceive the fans like he is. The fans value your opinion, and for you not to want to share your opinion with the fans in this critical time of the season, they don't appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that password. I gotta get it. I gotta do this all over.
Well, don't worry yourself too much about it, Cameron. I mean, as you know, every season is fluid. Every season is different. So it depends on what I see in training camp. A lot of it has to do with training.
Now you watch training camp. Now you watch training camp because you don't believe in preseason football.
Emerge and show a little bit, different skill set from what I thought that they were capable of, previously. So.
Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, look at there. I gotta figure out if everybody's in this season first and foremost. I can't pull up last year.
Oh well, I don't recall. It's a brand new year this year, Cameron, and we just have to wait and see. Are you going to tell me what pick I have this year? If you tell me what pick I have this year, then maybe I can do a little bit more, recon with regards to what I might do. What pick I got this year?
Stop that. You're full of shit.
Are you not going to tell me what pick I got? I could be a lot more informative if you tell me what pick I had this year.
So here's the history. Here's the history. Let me see. Can I go to the season? My season wasn't too stellar last year, but a couple seasons ago.
No, not last season, Cameron. Don't be going a couple seasons ago when you rigged the league. Go to last year.
How did I rig the league? I got a bunch of grown men in the league. How I rigged the league?
Man, I'm not getting into that with the fans again. Just what happened last year.
All right, fans. I can't pull this up. I can't see.
Okay, well, see, fans, he can't pull it up. I mean, whatever pick it was legitimate, and it was, depending on what the other players were doing. The other, league members.
If you had your preference, Cleveland, who do you draft first? The running back, the receivers? If you had your preference.
Depends on where I'm picking, Cam. If I'm picking the top 5, it's a running back. If I'm picking 7 to 12, it's probably a receiver.
How early do you pick a quarterback?
That is an excellent question, Cam. It kind of depends. I'm gonna leave it at that. Depends on still who's available. Some people go up and get Mahomes real early. Some people go up and get Burrow real early. I'm sure some people will come up and get, Stroud real early. And if they're not available, well, then that kind of changes your quarterback drafting strategy.
Do you like getting a quarterback early?
It depends on who I'm getting. Depends on who's still available.
Is there a quarterback you would jump up early and to take early? Mahomes is Mahomes the only guy?
Maybe a Jared Goff or a Josh Allen. Sure, jump up and get them. Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff. I don't think the fans believe you on that.
Jared Goff. He took him to the NFC Championship last year. Very controlled, very poised, new money.
All right. Can I do a history? I got in here. I'm trying to do a history. Last season, there we go. Last season. Young Sam Rothstein. Here we go. You had the first pick in the draft, Cleveland. What did you do with your first pick in the draft last year?
I didn't have the first pick in the draft
You had the
last
first
year.
pick in the, I'm looking right at it. 2023. First pick of the draft, Young Sam. Young Sam, that's you, right?
I don't recall who I picked with the first pick in the draft. It wasn't Christian.
The aforementioned Justin, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Right here. Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
I had the ninth pick. So by the time it came around, I took Jamar Chase. With the second pick, number 10, who'd you take? And see, this is what I'm asking. I'm asking fans. I'm trying to get.
I don't recall who I picked because I'm fresh on this season. You're dealing with old.
Listen to him.
I don't remember who did I pick.
Okay, but we're trying to ask a couple questions. You want to
I feel like I probably picked Jameer. I feel it was Jameer number 2.
Who? Jameer
or Bijan.
Jameer was number 3. That was actually a good pickup. I don't know you knew about that kid because you take Alabama running backs. I mean, I don't know why you was on Alabama running backs. But number 2, you want to take a second guess of who you took with your second pick right before Jameer?
Did I go CJ on him?
Travis Etienne.
Ooh.
Travis Etienne. So yeah, your backfield was solid there.
It's kind of hot and cold there. Okay.
My first 3 picks. So I took Jamar number 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Except my quarterback got hurt. That's what messed me up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you didn't make the playoffs. That's right. You didn't make the playoffs.
My quarterback got hurt.
That's right. You didn't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm.
Let me ignore that one because my quarterback got hurt. That's
okay, so you didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
Then I came back in the 3rd round and I took Joe Mixon. Mm-hmm. That was a mistake. Joe Mixon had hit the wall by that time. Let me see. Who'd you take? I guess I don't have all these players. We might have had some movement because I don't have all these players. I don't have like my whole roster of players. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, Cam, that's cool because it don't matter because we're going into the 2024 season and you're trying to bring up old stuff. I don't understand.
No, the purpose of reviewing our selections was to discuss and try to get you to add some realism and some facts to your.
Okay, but Cameron, I made the playoffs. Your team didn't make the playoffs, so why are you even telling the fans who you drafted?
Again, I'm asking you. My question was, Cleveland, what order would you draft your players in?
It depends on what the other owners are doing.
Well, you had the number 1 pick.
Okay.
And number one pick didn't
work out for me. He got hurt.
Huh?
So I said it didn't work out for me. He got hurt. So it's not like it was a good pick. I still made the playoffs though, because that's what I do. You didn't make the playoffs with all of your savant like picks and stuff that were so clairvoyant. Yeah, you didn't make the playoffs.
I think I was a game out of the playoffs.
Okay, so you didn't make the playoffs.
I think I was a game.
So
I think I was a game.
Well, I didn't say anything wrong.
Boy.
Now you're ready to get back at it. This season. Try and get in the fight. Try and get in the mix.
Who's your top quarterbacks this year in the NFL draft? Who's your top fantasy quarterbacks? Give me your top 5 fantasy quarterbacks.
Mahomes, Burrow, Stroud, Allen, Hurts, Lamar hanging out right behind Hurts.
Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. Yeah, you name on this. What I'm looking at, you name 5 of the top 7. Um, Anthony Richardson is 5. You expecting a big season from Anthony Richardson, or is it just because his running ability?
Fantasy football wise, I don't know how it will reflect their record ultimately, but yeah.
He might QB sneak for
I
7
told
or
you
8.
I told you about the game last year, right? When I had all that money on it and he got hurt like at the 2-yard line, and I was just like so relieved, but so sad that I was relieved that someone got hurt because he was going to run into the end zone and cost me a bunch of money. He's very difficult to stop.
I mean, but that's why he's hurt.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to get down. I mean, hopefully he's learned some things, but if that's your best physical attribute, you're always going to,
They got Brock Purdy at the top. In the top, he's number 11. Is that too high?
No, you should take him. I know you and him are fans and friends and stuff. You should take Brock Purdy as soon as you can.
We
If you
should
have
do.
to pick, you should take Brock Purdy, Cameron.
We should do an auction draft this year. What you think?
No,
Why not?
it's too complicated. Like everybody has to be kind of committed to it. Like I'm in one, and everyone is very intense about it, but most people are just cool with the snake draft.
I mean, after the 4th round, then it's become like pick your own.
I know, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
After the 4th round, like you gonna say,
again, like the participants in the league, I think that they're just better at the snake. The auction is hard. It's like next level.
it is. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So you said Allen Hurts, Lamar, Mahomes, C.J. Stroud, Burrow is what you said, right? Dak Prescott is just outside there. Kyler Murray, Jordan Love. You go Jordan Love or Kyler Murray?
Jordan Love.
Brock Purdy or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Jaden Daniels or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh, so you don't like Jaden's running ability, huh? I think Jaden gonna get a couple of touchdowns in there. I'll run some cats. Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels?
Caleb.
Deshaun Watson or Caleb Williams?
Caleb.
All right, that's enough of that. So you high on Caleb? You think Caleb's gonna get him to the playoffs?
I think so, but we'll have to see.
Like seriously, you really think they're gonna get to the playoffs?
I think they have a legitimate shot to get to the playoffs with the roster they have on offense.
You got them being better than the Lions and the Packers? Oh, you're not a believer in the Lions.
I'm not a great big believer in the Lions replicating what they were able to do last year, and I'm curious to see how the Packers deal with their running game now that Aaron Jones is gone, and they have to go with
They have Josh Jacobs. What do you mean you're curious to know how their run game going to do?
Yeah, you're a Josh Jacobs guy. I'm not a Josh Jacobs guy. I've been on that experiment. I wasn't a fan.
Last year you picked Josh Jacobs?
Maybe.
His worst year of his career?
I picked him before, and it didn't go well. So, yeah.
Who's the number 1 tight end?
Travis Kelce.
I mean, that's not a bad pick, but he's number 2. I was pleasantly surprised. I picked up Sam Laporta last season. Sam stepped up. He caught some passes from your quarterback. You mentioned you would take Jared Goff, Sam Laporta stepped up and played big. Uh, what court or what tight end would you take after that?
Probably Kittle after that.
Yeah, Kittle a little further down the list. Um, Dalton Kincaid. Now you know what happened to see. Stephon Diggs is gone, right? Who's the other receiver that they sent to Jack? Who's in Jacksonville now? I believe it is.
Gabe Davis.
Okay, so who? He should be the number one target. Dalton Kincaid, right? He's number one draft pick last year. You gonna go with that guy Shire? You gonna pick him over Dalton Kincaid?
No, probably Dalton's a fairly decent pick for that.
Where does Mark Andrews stand? Mark Andrews healthy, coming off a ankle injury, kind of getting long in the tooth. Where does Mark Andrews stand?
Probably right below that.
Behind Dalton Kincaid?
Yeah.
Okay, now, are you a fan of Kirk Cousins?
No, not really.
He's going to Atlanta, and Kyle Pitts. Do you think he's going to be an upgrade for Kyle Pitts?
He'll be an upgrade at quarterback for Kyle Pitts. So I think Kyle Pitts will come out and perform and ball out. No, not really.
Oh, you don't think he's any good?
No, I think he was highly
You think he
overrated.
maxed out already?
The one that we should be talking about is Brock Bowers. Is probably the next one that we should be talking about.
Oh, for the Raiders, but I mean, does McConnell he know how to get the ball to his tight end like Kirk Cousins does?
Is it McConnell or Gardner starting?
Oh, you know his name.
That's right.
You know his name, huh?
Hold that thought. I need to grab this cat real quick. Can you hold that thought?
You know his name.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Kobe.
Who would you take, fans? Who's your top tight ends? Hit us up in the chat at _voice of the fans, at _voice of the fans. Who would you take? Who's your top tight end in the fantasy football? You got playing fantasy football this season? Because yeah, my man, he's trying to steer you. He's gonna try to steer you wrong, but I caught him in his tail. At _voice of the fan, hit us up. Let us know how you enjoying the show, how you watching the show. At _voice of the fans on Twitter. Shoot me a subscribe or a like. Let me know that you're watching the show. Let me know you enjoy the show. Let me know. Let me know. Give me some comments and complaints. Give me some feedback, fans. Hit us up. Give us a like. Give us a share. Let your best friends know about the podcast. We do this every week. We bring guys fresh content every week. Let me know if this is something that you guys like or enjoy. What topics would you like to discuss? We usually do the top topics in the NFL, the NBA, MLS, and then some some miscellaneous sports topics. We also have this year we're going to have the Olympics, obviously, so we'll be doing some Olympic conversation as well. What are your favorite Olympic games? This is another question I'm asking. What's your favorite Olympic games to watch? Like to know that as well. So tight ends. We're talking about tight ends. Where you taking?
First and foremost, fans. He tricked me into saying that Washington State quarterback because he said the wrong name for who Brock Bowers would be catching passes from. So that's why I said his name out loud. Otherwise, I don't really do the wazoo thing. So,
Oh, I tricked you.
You tricked me. Yeah. Dalton Schultz after Dalton Kincaid, right? And Komet over there in Chicago as well.
Dalton Schultz is way down the block, way down the list.
Apparently, they think because they have so many receivers over there that they won't need to throw to the tight end anymore.
No, he was solid for them last year though. He was solid. He was solid for them. What do you do with Fairmouth? Schultz or Fairmouth?
I like Fairmouth.
Yeah, I know Schultz or Fairmouth. I mean,
I
can
would,
the
I would
quarterbacks get in the ball?
I would go Fairmouth, especially with Russ back there. Yeah,
And Joku and
he's
David
a
and
he's a
Joku.
feast or famine dude. I don't like the feast or famine at tight
Yeah,
end.
he is. He is. He could go for 250 in one game, or he can go for 50.
Yeah,
Um, one guy you didn't mention, Trevor McBride. What do you think of Trey McBride? Think that might be his third year in the league. So you don't think the second baseman can use him properly? Are you down on McBride or are you down on the second baseman? Which one is it?
I'm down on both. The shortstop is the shortstop, man, and Trey McBride. That's
But he
cool.
made plays though. He get out there. His agility allows him to make plays. You don't think so?
It's all right.
Come on, Cleveland.
That's way down there. I mean, we're talking about with a 10th or 12th tight end. I don't. Yeah, no.
No. They have this one here has McBride at number 4.
Oh,
Yes.
well, Cam, you should pay attention to that.
Oh, listen to you. So you mentioned everybody. I mentioned Laporta. You mentioned Kelsey. I asked you about Andrews. We just talked about McBride. The number 5 pick you haven't mentioned. I haven't mentioned. You mentioned Kittles, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts. I mentioned David Njoku's at number 9. We didn't mention the number 5 or the number 10 rating. I'm looking at the what is this ESPN.
So the 5 is probably what Hawkinson if he's healthy.
No. Hawkinson's not even the number 10.
Who's number 5?
Oh, that's what you have to tell me. Who's number 5?
The number 5 tight end.
Again, we talked about Detroit tight end, KC tight end, Baltimore tight end, Arizona tight end, San Francisco tight end, Buffalo tight end, the Falcons tight end, Cleveland, the Browns tight end. We didn't mention number 10. We didn't mention 10 or 11, actually. 10 or 11 is a good pick. And you mentioned Hawkinson. So 10, 11, obviously, ahead of Hawkinson. And the number 5 pick, I'm not sure I would take this guy at number 5, but I'd probably take the 10 and 11 guy before number 5, but he's number 5 on this list.
5 is drawing a blank. I'm so curious to hear who this.
Evan Ingram, Jacksonville tight end. I'm just saying he's number 5 on the list. But he played. So why
the only reason I might consider it is because the Jacksonville receivers are so putrid that
there's another reason he's still playing with Trevor Lawrence. So if Trevor Lawrence need to make a resurgence, he's gonna need somebody to catch the passes. And the reason a lot of people are down on Evan Ingram is Evan Ingram played with the Giants. He had no significant. There was nothing that stood out about his season.
That's why they went and got Darren Waller, because he wasn't really all that good.
Who again? He had no significance at all because he was of his quarterback. That was necessarily on him.
I mean, I would go and find a Gerald Everett before I went and drafted.
He said Gerald Everett.
I didn't even know where he's at, but yeah.
Oh man, Gerald Everett. Ooh. Let me see if I can I find him?
You can find him.
Oh no, I ain't seen him yet. He might.
I think he's on a pretty good team, as I recall. I can't remember which one, but he's gonna get some catches.
He used to be with the Chargers, but I don't know if he's still there. He's not on this list.
The Chargers with the Rams for a minute. He's on the list. He's somewhere.
No, not on this list. So I told you number 5 was number 10 or 11. I would go with either one of these guys right now. Today, I would go with either one of these guys over that number 5 Evan Ingram pick. 10 or 11, I go with him. You mentioned Sam Laporta, or I mentioned Sam Laporta. You mentioned Kelsey. We talked about Mark Andrews, Trey Trey McBride is number 4. You mentioned him. Evan Ingram, uh, George Kittles, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts, David Njoku, and this guy is number 10. This other guy is 11. TJ Hawkinson, Brock Bowers, Pat Frymuth, and then number 15, Dalton Schultz. There's Cole Kmet's right there at 16. Oh, look at you. Look at you, Boots. Boots, you want a spot in the league? Look at you, Boots. I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna give him a chance, Boots. I'm gonna give him a chance to say it. I just gave you the top. I left out 10 and 11, but I went down all the way to number 16 with Cole Kmet. Boots got it right here. That's number 10 guy. That's a number 10 guy. Who's 11?
Did they go Mo Alley Cox on him?
No. Number 11, Dallas Goedert. Number 11 with the Eagles. Wait, why you put your head down? He was better with the. He was better.
You're just hoping. If Dallas Goedert is your starting tight end, you're just hoping. Yeah.
I mean, he's not going. He's not. He's yeah, you're right. He's going to be a fourth option. He's going to be your fourth option because you got the receivers Brown and Smith, right? And then you got the running back. So yeah, Goddard is a fourth option that may have a few touchdowns throughout the season. Yeah, he was better. He was better in the passing scheme with your guy. Yeah, the same thing. The same thing. I mean, you might be desperate at taking Goddard.
Yeah, you're coping because you waited too long to get a tight end.
I mean, but they're still good. They're still good tight ends though. They're still good tight ends, as you mentioned. Fryermuth, Bowers is still there. Dalton Schultz is still there. There's still some good tight ends available. Noah Fant is still there. Noah Fant's gonna be there in a while though, right?
Well, I think he's going to be one of the first kind of waiver guys.
Oh, you have him not making a block?
No, I don't. I mean, there's only 10 teams, right? Everybody gets what, 2 tight ends. I don't know if he's in the top 20,
yeah, that's fair enough. So we talked about the quarterbacks. Okay, let's get back to our script. We talked about the quarterbacks. Talk about the tight end. No more fantasy football for you guys. Fans, until we have draft day. We're gonna have the draft day. We've done it the last couple of years. We have a live draft, so you guys can see. You guys get war room action. We've had it the last couple of years. Hopefully, we can do the live draft again. But we get live action, and you guys can see how I dominate the draft. I typically dominate the draft. Typically, I dominate the draft.
You have to remind me how we do that. It was do the show and then I go to Yahoo, so I'm not on the show. I don't remember how I do it.
Well, you probably want to pick on your phone. Set your.
Do I have to pick on my phone? Is that how I do it?
I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I can do it from either way on the computer. I can have the show going.
I want to do like the show on the phone, and then I don't remember how I do it. It'll come back. Yeah,
it'll come in. I'm a winner, so I can multitask, fans. I can multitask. Fans, thank you guys for sticking with us. Give yourselves a round of applause if you've been with us this long. A couple things we do at the beginning of the show, we play our numbers game. Midway through the show, we give you This Week in History, fans. Just kind of relive some of the moments in history of this country, kind of highlight what we've done and where this country has come from. And so I want to give you This Week in History, Cleveland. Cleveland 17, or excuse me, July 22, 1861, President Lincoln read the first draft of the Emancipation Proclamation to the cabinet, 1861. July 22nd. July 28th, 1868, the Fourth Amendment was passed. It was the Fourth Amendment was adopted actually. 14th Amendment. I make sure I get that right. 14th Amendment was adopted. 7/15/1976. No, that's not what I want to use. Um, 7/24/1941. Cleveland. President Roosevelt signed Executive Order 8802, creating a Fair Employment Practices Committee, banning racial discrimination from any defense industry receiving federal contracts. That was President Roosevelt did that, and what did I say? 1941. Cleveland 7/25/1970. Charles Cordon were Pulitzer Prize for his play "No Place to Be Somebody." That was 1970. 7/25/1970. Cleveland 7/25 1970, also on the same day, the first warship named for a black person, the SS Leonard Roy Harmon, launched in Quincy, Massachusetts, 1943. Uh, Cleveland 7/24/1978, Billy Martin was fired for the first of three times as a manager of the New York Yankees. 7/24/1984, Cleveland quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers retired from the National Football League. What was his quarterback name?
That was Terry Bradshaw.
Cleveland controversial figure in sports. 7/24/2005, Lance Armstrong won a seventh consecutive Tour de France. What's your thoughts on old Lance? Survive Lance.
Yeah, my thought is that cycling is one of the most corrupt sports that there is.
Dirty sports around. But okay, Cleveland.
I mean, Live Strong is cool. I mean, he, he is a cancer survivor. Let's not get that twisted. But yeah, the things you have to do to win cycling is
I mean, come on, your
illegal.
endurance has to be bananas, man, doesn't it? To win the cycling. I mean, you still have to pedal for 26 miles, don't you?
Well, I mean, you certainly do have to do that, but I just do remember, Floyd Landis, professing his innocence.
Spilling the beans.
But no, I mean, initially,
Yeah.
I don't remember, professing his innocence and then not being able to give a plausible explanation as to how you got someone else's blood in your body. So, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, Landon took a. I mean, Lance Armstrong. He took a shot for that, man. He took it. He took considerable. He took more shrapnel than I thought he would take for.
No, I mean he milked it for all it was worth.
He did.
He always
He retired, came back, and continued to do it. But
and he always knew what he was doing. What he had done. So eventually he just kind of it just became too much. And he just kind of came clean. But he milked that for every penny.
Cleveland, George Brett, 7/24/1983. What am I gonna say?
George Brett.
Oh,
George Brett. Oh, pine tar incident. Yeah. The pine tar was above the label. Yeah, Armstrong did have a precipitous fall from grace.
Yeah, quick. That's what I'm saying. Boots. He fell off quick, and he took a lot of anger. He pissed off a lot of housewives with their move.
He was just so arrogant in his defiance, and then he finally had to come clean. But no, the George Brett pine tar incident.
Where were you? Do you remember where you were the first time you seen him just go banana?
I absolutely remember. I remember my dad just cracking up, could not stop laughing. This dude came out of the dugout with so much fire and brimstone. He was so angry.
But didn't the funny thing is about those rants back in the day. He came rushing out of there and did not touch the ref. Did not touch the ref. Like he came out there like he wanted to really get at somebody, and he danced all around them. Now there was people there helping him, right? But he did not. He ran it right up there and did not touch the ref one time. Didn't even bump him. Didn't even chest bump him. So they ejected him. They the. Do you remember that Kansas City filed an appeal and they ended up playing the rest of that game?
Yeah.
Crazy, George Brett. Cleveland, 7/24/1998. Saving Private Ryan, directed by Steven Spielberg, was released 7/24/2000, or excuse me, 1998. Cleveland, how much money did that make in this first weekend?
Saving Private Ryan made at least $50 million.
No, you be wrong. $30.5 million.
Oh.
So this is pretty peculiar. It made 217 domestically, 2.17 million dollars, but it made $2.6 million internationally. So are war movies making more money outside the country than inside the country?
Not necessarily. That one was a World War II base, so maybe a little bit more of a, an audience for it. Yeah, it was intense.
All right, Cleveland. This is oh, there she go. She want to get on the show?
It's Kobe. It's not Coco. It's Kobe. Ouch. It's Kobe.
All right. What's your thoughts, Cleveland, on the coach sending the drone, the Canadian coach sending a drone over New Zealand soccer team recording their practice?
Cornball stuff, man.
I mean, using the technology at her advantage.
No, that's some Patriot Belichick stuff, man.
Oh, but okay, that's different though, obviously, because they're stopping and they're running plays. How does this help you guys in the game? Like,
because they see formations, they see play calls. I mean, it's all the same thing, man. It's information that they can dissect and use at a different time, man.
Again, I can see it for the NFL is different because they're stopping, they're recording their lineups, then they see the play. Okay, we see this, they're going to do that. In soccer, I mean, the action is moving so fast. Like,
no, there's enough to extract from what it is that they're doing if you're flying a drone over their practice, for sure.
Yeah. What is the sport you're most interested in seeing in the Olympics this week?
Thanks for getting back to that, Cam. Again, like when we had the show with Tyler Dragon, and I actually got a chance to watch it again. And fans, if you haven't seen it on Netflix, a series called Sprint, it is extraordinary. One of the best documentaries I've kind of seen.
You watched the whole thing? How many episodes is that?
6.
I saw the first one. Maybe I saw the second one. The second one was more on the ladies, right? Yeah, the second one was more on the ladies.
Yeah, it kind of goes back and forth. Yeah. But so for me, it's
what I was sorry to cut you off. What I was disappointed was that the first one with Noah Lyles, like they interviewed they highlighted or featured the Italian dude, but we didn't get no. I don't even like the closed caption. We didn't get no interpretation of what dude was saying. That was hard. It was hard for me to follow, not knowing what dude was saying. You follow what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like he was Italian. He was speaking Italian on the thing. I don't speak Italian.
Yeah, they had the English translation.
No, I don't. Well, to be honest with you, I turned the closed caption. So maybe that's
okay. So there is a version where
maybe I turned it. I don't like the. Yeah, I didn't see it. I just heard him talking. Did you know this about your boy George Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one. So the sprints you're talking about, you want to see the sprints?
I am dying to see the track and field, the 100, the 200 men's and women's, the 400 for the women's. After that, it's hoop, swimming, and tennis probably.
No boxing?
No, because I don't really like the amateur rules, and I've always been kind of turned off after Roy Jones got robbed. I don't really watch it anymore.
Okay, this is the first year they got breakdancing. Are you gonna watch the breakdancing?
Yeah. I don't think the United States is going to win, but I will watch.
That's absolutely stupid. Like, how are they? How are they gonna have breakdancers? And I bet they're gonna have Asian kids out there.
Oh, the Japanese cats are off the hook, man. I believe they are the favorites. I don't remember.
But no, I'm talking about for Americans. For Americans, they're not gonna have nobody from the hood breakdancing in the Olympics.
That's because they don't do that anymore. The art has evolved. It's a worldwide thing. It's an Olympic event, but no, it's not cardboard on the
How can you evolve from the original? And this is the first year in there. They're gonna be dancing on the same field that Simone Biles is. They're gonna be dancing on the same floor as Simone Biles is, and they're gonna be doing the score.
You haven't seen the evolution. They've taken it to a different level. This is not.
Oh, you follow this?
I followed the sport, the art. Yeah.
I'm talking about you follow the trials. You follow the trials.
No, I'm not following it that closely.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You ain't following.
I'm just saying the art has evolved from this ain't Beat Street no more.
Okay, when is the last time you see anybody breakdancing? Then tell me that. Answer that one for me.
Probably at a halftime game or halftime show of an NBA game.
Oh, the Blue Men, the Blue Ridge Men, Blue Men, whatever.
No, who we have up here? The Massive Monkeys. They're big. I think they might even be at the Olympics, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, see, they taking anybody. Yeah, Turbo and Ozone, they wouldn't know what to do. Like, they probably wouldn't make the cut. If they came out there, they probably would not make the cut.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So you're telling me the game? You're telling me the game is involved.
At the time, but no.
You're telling me the game has evolved, but how in the Olympics first year with the breakdancing, how is it evolved past that?
The spins are longer. They're on their different parts of their body.
This is gymnastics, man. This is gymnastics. It's gonna be some gymnastics out there. I guarantee you. They're gonna be doing flips and
it's going to be like, here's what it's going to be like, Cam. It's going to be like when you used to go out on your BMX bike and you used to take like a big hill and be like, "Ooh, I got off that big hill," and then you see the X Games,
right.
It's like, oh wow, did he just spin the bike around like 2 times?
The X Games is legit. No. I'm not buying that. I'm not going for that.
I'm talking about the evolution. I'm talking about the evolution of like when you used to ride bikes to what they're doing now. That's what breakdancing is going to look like to you.
No. You think?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to tune in. And who's interested in tuning in to see some breakdancing? Because I'm about to see what they're talking about.
That you get a medal in. I mean, you get to come to the village for crying out loud.
I feel it. I understand it's
anytime you come to the village, it is a privilege beyond belief, man.
You're missing what I'm saying. You're missing. How are they gonna have these kids breakdancing? And it looked nothing like actual breakdancing.
It's going to have some semblance to what you recall, but I mean there are all these other
they're gonna be up rocking. They're gonna be up rocking. They're gonna be doing the helicopter.
Oh, they'll still do the helicopter, but they'll do the helicopter and then go all the way up and spin on their head and then do some other weird stuff, and you'll be like, wow, all from the helicopter? That's crazy. You won't recognize it, bro.
And ain't not one of them been on a piece of cardboard with the nylon jacket.
They might do it just kind of like the show, just kind of like, like the throwback. But yeah, no, they're way past.
Who was that?
Cardboard.
I think it was in one of the verses. Didn't Big Daddy Kane bring out the breakdancers in one of the verses? The
Oh,
Rocksteady crew, or something like that.
yeah,
I bet not one of those guys got an Olympic tryout, got even a tryout to Olympics.
they did not.
So how the hell is it breakdancing? How's it breakdancing?
It's just not the breakdancing that you're used to, man. That's all.
Cleveland, I see you all bought in. Cleveland's all bought into the breakdancing. Okay. The opening, will you tune in to the opening ceremonies? Not only because your girlfriend asked you to come watch. Will you willingly tune into the opening ceremonies?
You know, Cam, I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, you don't want to see LeBron bring it, walk in with the flag?
Yeah, I don't necessarily need to see that. You know, LeBron and Coco Golf, that's cool. It's a super special moment. I'm not really into the
whole
opening ceremonies. The one time it was off the hook, though, was when they were in London. The one in London was off the hook, man.
Shit, when it was in Japan, that was crazy. That was crazy when they had the little it looked like the lights on the heads and they was turning the lights off and then the lights was on. I mean the opening ceremony, man, that pageantry so much goes into that.
Yeah, I mean when Beckham came in on the the James Bond boat and brought the Queen in, and they had been playing like all these English cuts for like 3 hours. I thought they were gonna run out of songs. They did not run out of songs, bro.
No, this year, I heard that they're gonna be is not gonna be the typical. So yeah, LeBron can't even walk into the ring into the well, maybe he can, but they're supposed to be taking boats to some going down the river. Some river, not the Rhine River, right next to the Eiffel Tower, but they're supposed to be taking boats down the river, and apparently at sundown, that visual is supposed to be epic. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Paris is a unique place, man. Paris is very unique. Photo, what do they say? Photogenic. A lot of photo opportunities in Paris, and so yeah, I know, imagine they're gonna take good advantage of that. So you got to check out our guy, Tyler Dragan, at USA Today. He's out there doing some coverage, and when he gets back, he's gonna come back on the show, and we can grill him about what he's. I want to know if he's watching the breakdancing. That's what I want to know. Did he go watch? I'm gonna text Tyler right now. Are you watching? Are you going to the breakdancing match? That's what I want to see if he can get back to me. I know what is it? It's at 9 a.m. over there. He might.
It's not. Is it a 12-hour difference in Paris?
Well, shit, I keep thinking I'm on the West Coast. It's like a 7-hour difference here.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, from the West Coast, it's like 9 hours. Will you be covered? So, but he's still on the West Coast time. So it's early for him. Will you be covering breakdancing over there? See if he gets back to me. B-boys, you joking, right? You joking, right?
I'm not sure what the categories are, man, but it's probably individual and group, I would assume. Men and women, I don't know.
Man, come on, man. It's gonna be so embarrassing, man. It's gonna be so embarrassing. I'm gonna be like, what is this crap they showing us, man? What is this?
It's gonna be embarrassing for the
United States. So it's gonna be B-boys and B-girls.
It'll be embarrassing for the United States.
Who invented? Well, it'd be embarrassing for the United States, who essentially invented breakdancing. We're not going to medal.
Inner city.
Medal? Is that what you said?
From the inner city, and now it is, captivated the world to a point that they're not even relevant anymore. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Man, that somebody be ashamed of themselves
for not keeping up the breakdancing tradition.
No, for the way they're doing it. This is not. You at least got to do.
You haven't even seen it. Why are you critiquing something you haven't even seen yet?
man, I can't say. I mean, I don't even agree with the beach volleyball. How beach volleyball is just a. I mean, you can play beach volleyball anywhere. You just throw some sand down in the net and talk about the beach volleyball.
Volleyball's hard. Have you ever played?
Well, running on the sand is hard. No, I mean, I don't need to play that. Running on the sand is hard. But I'm just saying, beach volleyball, it is people, it is be boys and be girls. That's hysterical, man. Come on. I mean, they gonna be.
They're
They
gonna
probably
be suited up like that. Boots. It's gonna be legit. They're
gonna have sweats on. They're gonna have sweatsuits on. They're gonna
be sponsored. Puma's gonna have.
Yeah. They're gonna be. I agree with. They're gonna be sponsored. Man, watch Vans be dominating the promotion, the gear over there on the breakdancing. Man, come on, man. Come on. This is a farce, man. This is a farce. How are they gonna keep the? That's another. How are they gonna keep America out of breakdancing?
Because they're gonna be.
They weren't breakdancing in London.
Scorecards at a higher level than the United States.
Come on, man. That's gonna be embarrassing. That's gonna be embarrassing. Now you got me. That wasn't even on my list. Now I want to see breakdancing in Paris. Because man, I'm already ashamed of what's this gonna look like.
Just don't be disappointed when they get the bronze, man, or if they don't medal at all.
You're already telling me they're not. It's going to be a different sport. You're going to tell me there's not going to be any black kids in there. If there's no black kids in there, I might have to turn the channel.
Here is what I am saying.
If I don't see any black kids in the breakdancing competition. It's a fraud. It's a fraud for real.
Here is what I am saying, man. It's just a different type of breakdancing than you're used to seeing, man. It's on a way higher scale. They just do more stuff.
Are they going to competing? Are they going to get in each other's face? Or are they going to pass it over?
No, they're going to have they're going to have their routine. They're going to be like
just casually walk off the stage,
and the judges are going to judge them on the certain criteria.
Oh man, come on!
And they're going to give them like a 26 or 27.
That's going to be such a farce. Breakdancing in the Olympics.
Sorry.
It's going to be so insulting when they don't have any American or any black people in America competing. Watch it. It's gonna be Asian kids. It's gonna be I bet it's gonna be Asian kids. They already got the commercial, the one breakdancing commercial.
You don't know what the breakdancing lineup looks like, Cameron.
But
no, it's not gonna be from the Boogie Down Bronx, man. No, this is not 82, man. That's what I'm saying. No cardboard. 0 cardboard. Okay.
Whoever come out with cardboard and the nylon jackets should win the gold medal. Period. If they don't come out with
just for authenticity to the craft, is that what we're going with here?
Dennis Seville from France. Okay, see that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's already a favorite right now. Black kid from France, he's already a favorite. If we don't have a black kid, how are we gonna win the?
And so what is your criteria for this anyway, man? You act like you got some like thing where like you like all of a sudden you're a breakdancing expert or something.
Man, again,
this ain't the hall party or what are you talking about?
What you say? It's not watching it all. It's not the party I'm watching after school. Come on, man. They're gonna have to. I want to see some originality. I don't want to see just a art.
Cameron, you're gonna have to take your bifocals off, man, and see how the thing has evolved, man. They're gonna be doing some things that you just simply have never seen before. It's coming.
Man, I'm gonna have to look him up. I see the black dude. I see the old black dude right now. Technique, vocabulary, execution, musical originality. Again, if they don't have a boombox, boots, They don't have a boombox and somebody press play. I mean, they should be eliminated. What you think, Boots? They don't have a boombox and somebody has to press play, and then they got two guys guarding the boombox. They should be eliminated from the breakdancing competition.
And then when the one cassette tape stopped, they needed to have somebody on the other side to push play.
One of those dudes guarding the tape, guarding the boombox, pull out a brand new cassette and slip it in there. Boom. Man. All right, Cleveland.
You don't have to start a fire in the living room to keep warm anymore, Cameron. You can just turn on other things. Yeah,
somebody need the radio right here.
8 double D batteries, huh? Yeah,
with the double D batteries. Yes, that Olympic your country is paying for
on your shoulder.
No, they don't have to do all that again. If you don't have a boombox and you kept and press play, you put it down and press play, you should be automatically eliminated. If you don't have the cardboard with the nylon jacket, you're eliminated. I mean, those are minimum attributes to breakdancing. I don't want to see no Gore-Tex jacket. I don't want to see the knee pads on the dudes when they break. I don't want that ain't it. That ain't it. We need some originality out there. I don't want to hear no techno music when these guys are dancing either. We can't have no techno music in breakdancing.
Not quite sure where you found the soapbox to get on to talk about breakdancing, but
wasn't even my intention. We just start talking about it, and you telling me it's going to be something totally different. I'm just saying some of the prerequisites the breakdancing team needs to have to be considered gold medalist breakdancing. That's all I'm saying. They can't have the ear pods in the ear and then we think they rocking out to something. We can't even hear the music. No, come on, man. That's not how it goes. Come on. Come on. They need to bring back some originality to the competition. So yeah, I was asking you, I asked my question about what sports are you interested in seeing, and then somehow you brought up breakdancing. Like breakdancing wasn't even on my list.
Again, to reiterate, track and field, basketball, swimming. Would like to see ones of tennis, and then I think I threw in breakdancing after that.
You know, another sport you didn't mention that I've always been impressed. I've always been impressed ever since way before Greg Louganis was diving, man. Man, those guys get up on that top tier, man.
Way up there. It's way up there. Have you ever dived off of
I've jumped off of there, but I never dove like head first.
Oh yeah, but even jumping off, it's way down there, man.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I jumped out the second tier one time, never again, man.
Cleveland, I went to Hawaii. This was 2003 or 4. And I was told, okay, so I was in Hawaii for 3 weeks. So once you drive around the island once, it's like how many times can you drive around the freaking island? But there was this rock, and the locals telling me you got to go to the rock. Okay, so I made it to the rock, and I'm looking at these kids. From a distance, from the side, from the beach, it looked like it was a 10 feet jump, right? It looked like it was a 10 feet jump. But this water is crystal clear out there in Hawaii. So when you actually swim out to the rock and you get up there, it might be 20 feet. But not only is it 20 feet above the water, but then you could see the water so clear. You see the floor. You see the floor, right? So it's really kind of deceptive where the water level is and the floor is. Because you can see the floor, it looks you might be 40 feet up. It looked like you might be 40 feet up. I was like, I swam out there and I was like, okay, a bunch of kids doing this. You know, these kids are 9, 10, 11. They're just running, jumping off. But when I got there, when I got up to the rock, and I can look and see. I can look over the edge and see that
Whoa, whoa.
it's about a 40-foot drop. Man, hold up. I was like, hold up. And these kids, bro.
Did you turn around and start walking back down?
No. I didn't. I couldn't walk. I couldn't go down because again, these were 10, 11, 12-year-old kids just coming up there. They're in their fourth jump by now. They just coming in. It wasn't like two people could jump off of it, but really it's one person at a time type of deal, right? One person at a time. You give that person time to jump, land, and swim on out the way. So I was like, okay. So I had to step away because these kids were they were coming. And it was one after another. So I stepped out of the way and was like, okay, you guys go ahead. I'll wait till you guys, and this will give me another time to kind of look over and build my shit up. So, so I finally, okay, now I'm gonna jump. So again, I was probably 20 feet up. I didn't dive. I jumped. These kids are doing flips and their belly flopping and all this shit. I was like, no, I just want to jump. Then I'll just jump and I'll land and get over. Man, so I jumped and I had no bearing of where I was. Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna jump and hit the water, hit the water. I jump, I'm in the air, it feels like 10 seconds, and I start flailing around, and I hit the water on my back. Wow. Even I was done right there. I could have went to sleep right there at that very moment. I could have went to sleep. But like now I gotta swim 40 feet to the shore. I swam to the shore, man. One thing I hate is wet. I hate wet sand. I cannot stand wet sand. So I'm already struggling when I get to the shore, and then I got to walk to my towel, and then I got sand all on my feet in between. I hate that. That's what dog. I get to the shore, I fall out. Boom. I'm laying, my body's soaked. I'm laying in the sand, so I got sand on. Clearly, at this point, I don't care. Cleavon, that took all my when I hit the water and hit it on my back. That took all my energy. I was done for the day. It's like 3:00. I was done for the day. Sapped all my energy out of me. It was crazy. That was a crazy feeling. And then I'm just watching these kids just jumping
again like a routine. Yeah.
And the lady one of the parents come over. Oh, isn't that so fun? They look like they're having so much fun out there. Yeah, I'm like, nah, like I'm ready. I'm ready to get back to the hotel, man. I'm ready to get back to the hotel, get to the bar. That was the weirdest experience, man. I jumped and took all my energy. It was done. But the crazy thing is when I got up there, like it was hard to see where the water was, the top of the water versus the floor, because you could see all the way. The water's so clear, you could see all the way to the floor, right? So very hard to see. And I thought, man, it took me for a spin because I'm expecting to hit the water real fast, and it felt like I was in air for 10 seconds before I hit the thing. And oh my goodness, that was a crazy feeling.
Now, yeah, the kids will,
yeah, they doing cannonballs. They doing Cali, they're flipping and
they will test your man because I'll tell you straight up, I went out there and looked, and I was like, yeah, no. And then I literally got out of line and walked back down and was walking.
You know what I'm talking about? You went to the rock? You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, no, but a similar type of structure, right?
Okay.
And so then I was just like, no.
Yeah,
then you see all the 9 and 10 years, like, okay, well, I can't just.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do it, man. And they're just coming out. They weren't even giving it a second shot, a second look. They're just like, oh, sweet.
You feel like people are pointing at you and laughing, like, okay, I have to do this now. It's like a rite of passage, but
yeah, I had
there. You get the adrenaline or whatever, and then you jump. And I remember this part of my arm and this part of my arm stinging for 2 hours. because I was just like swinging my arms. Finally hit the water, and it hurt. Really,
I hit my back. I hit my back, and I didn't hit flush. It wasn't like a back flop, but I hit my back, and that shit, bro. It took once I hit the water instantly. I went from a 92% energy percent level to about a 22 energy percent level. Again, as I mentioned, I got to the shore. I just laid down. I just laid down. I couldn't move. It took me 20 minutes before I can get to the car, get a water, and then get all the sand. Again, I got in the car with sand on me, and I cannot stand sand, just wet sand, like really wet sand. Period. I don't like that on my feet. It was all on my back. It was everywhere. I turned the car in a week later with sand all in the car. That's how bad. That's how much sand was just everywhere. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was Cleavon, thoughts on the Big 12, man, this year. Obviously you guys, the Huskies just spurned the little brother and just I mean just left him at the altar kind of. Just you know, you guys just did you and Oregon, man. You guys no love for your in-state brethren. There's no love at all.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Left him in Pullman. Sorry. We had to move on, and they just weren't part of the the future. But going forward, that game in Happy Valley sounds interesting. Apparently they're doing the whiteout. I wish it was the team that we had last year going to Penn State, but we'll see what we can do.
Who is the Big 12 stronger league than the SEC?
No.
So the more teams in it, the more competition, doesn't make it a better league than SEC?
Well, the SEC just added Texas and Oklahoma, and plus the SEC basically runs like the AAA affiliate for the NFL. So they take it way more seriously than anyone else in the country. As you might recall, when COVID came around and everyone else was kind of deciding, the Pac-12 decided that they weren't going to play any games for the sake of the safety of the players. The day after it closed down, the SEC was like, no, full season.
With fans in the
games, no, full season. It's like, what about the safety of the full season? It's way different.
It is too much, man. What are you talking about? Cut down the season and the money for the stadiums and what? What are you talking about? Have you seen Tuscaloosa? So who wins the Big 12?
Ohio State.
Oregon? You can't even fix your mouth to say Oregon is going to be in the championship game?
Honestly, what I think is going to happen, because I don't really actually know how the scheduling is playing out, is that no one's going to go undefeated through the Big 12. I mean, it's just not a thing. Like through the Big 10, excuse me.
Well, they're going to be. I mean, going undefeated is not that important, is it? It's not.
Well, you said who's going to win it, so
Yeah.
we're assuming that there has to be a conference championship, right? At some point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, yeah, there's going to have to be a conference champ. Somebody has to win the league. Yes, obviously. But with 12 teams now making the playoffs, going undefeated is not.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, but who's going to win the conference? I think Ohio State's going to win it.
Okay.
It's going to take a minute for the Pac-12 teams that are coming over, SC, Oregon,
get adjusted.
UW, and who's the fourth one? UCLA. Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
You think?
At least a season, yeah.
I mean, but the Pac-10 always played the Pac-12, whatever. They always played the Big 10, at least in the Rose Bowl. So they saw them. It's not like these guys are complete foreigners.
No, and I don't think that the level of competition is like in any way superior, but like the top upper echelon of that division, or that conference. Your Ohio State, your Michigan, your Penn State. It's going to be a problem.
Interesting. So you think? Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to measure that as we get closer. But we got college football coming right around the corner. And does Bama make the playoffs? You expect Bama to make the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. With 12 teams, for sure.
All right, man. So let's jump into the Major League Baseball. They had their Hall of Fame announcements. How odd is that? Like, why couldn't they done this a week earlier during All-Star weekend? Before Home Run Derby. We're gonna name our Major League Baseball Hall of Famers. Like before the All-Star game. Like we're gonna name our Hall of Famers. So like at least the NFL does it. Is it the NFL? Yeah, the NFL has their the Hall of Fame. They name them early, then they have the Hall of Fame game, and they talk to the Hall of Famers. They could have did the Hall of Fame, the induction on Saturday during the home run hitting contest or the All-Star game. You'd have chatted it up with the Hall of Famers. Like they do it a week later when what?
Yeah, no, I know this goes back to your affinity for All-Star games, but no, the Hall of Fame is in Cooperstown. They do it separate. It has nothing to do with the present talent on the
But
field.
what I'm saying is, Cleveland, did you obviously you knew who was inducted, but there was no ceremony at all. There was no kind of it just came out of nowhere. You get a notification on your phone. Oh, these guys inducted into the Hall of Fame. What? Well, when was the induction? Was there a speech? Did they just announce it? Did they just mail stuff to the house?
They give a speech. They do all of that, just like any other Hall of Fame.
But again, it's not tied into the. If you do it a week earlier, you have baseball fans or
none of the other Hall of Fames are tied into the All-Star game. Not a single one.
Fair point. If you do it earlier when the Major League Baseball has people intrigued about what Major League Baseball is doing, that might be a better time to announce or just have the announcement. These players were inducted to the Hall of Fame. Like it just seems so random that a week later they have this announcement. It just seems to me, a novice baseball fan, it just seems so random that they have it. Do they always have it this late in middle of July?
I believe that the induction is typically around the same time. Because I was watching Pardon the Interruption, and they said 8 years ago, I think today, Ken Griffey was inducted into the Hall of Fame with the highest percentage ever. So it's right around the same time.
It just seems so random. Like there's zero time. Jim Leland gets in. Adrian Beltre, former Mariner, right? He played for the Mariners a couple of years.
He wasn't good when he was with us, but yeah.
Joe Mauer and Todd Helton. Wasn't Todd Helton a quarterback at Tennessee? Was it? And then he's not. No, I'm not going to the NFL. I'm gonna be a pitcher. What did he? Did he didn't pitch? He didn't pitch. Did he?
He was an incredible hitter.
You agree with all four of those getting in?
Cooperstown has such a different criteria, and it's so stringent that I'm kind of like whatever. I mean, all those guys can get in, but there's all of this controversy about the other players that aren't in. So,
who should have been in? Who got the snub?
Well, I mean, there's all the players from the late '90s, early 2000s that aren't in.
Well, the steroid era.
Call it what you're calling it, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot.
Was it not the steroid? It was not the steroid era. Was it not Mark McGwire and Andrew?
I don't think Mark McGwire is a Hall of Famer. I was referring to more players like Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Pete Rose still ain't in. So players of that.
Wait, back up. You don't think Mark McGwire is a Hall of Famer? The guy who held the single season home run record is not a Hall of Famer. Come on, dude. Like he came in the league hitting home runs. He went out of the league hitting home runs. Like how is that? Where is he on the? I don't even know, but where is he on the home run list? He's in the top 10, ain't
No, he's way
he?
down.
He's not top 10.
No, 50, maybe.
Nah, not 50. Is he?
Yeah.
You got Mark McGwire. Not so 98 meant 0 to you. Is Sammy Sosa a Hall of Famer? Sammy Sosa can't be a Hall of Famer if you don't have Mark McGwire in the Hall of Fame. Wow, Cleveland. I'm kind of surprised you would say that.
No, don't deserve it.
Mark McGwire, not a home run. He doesn't he have two what you call it?
Just the one that I recall.
What I'm trying to say.
World Series ring?
Yeah. They didn't win two? The what you call it? Hold on. He won one with the Cardinals, didn't he?
I don't think he was playing on that team.
Did the A's, they didn't win two of them?
Just one.
Eckersley and Stewart won.
Nope.
Or was that the same team?
They lost in 88 to the Dodgers. They won in 89. They beat the Giants. They lost in 90 to the Cincinnati Reds. Just the one.
And he didn't win with the what you call it?
I'm not 100% sure that he wasn't on one of those Cardinals teams, but I thought that was a little bit later. That he wasn't still on it, but yeah.
Booth. Okay. I thought he won one with the what you call it? With the Cardinals. I mean, he played.
Pujols has two, but I don't think he was on either one of those teams with him.
Okay. Is he a Hall of Famer, Boots? You got Mark McGwire Hall of Famer, or you with Cleveland? No. I'm surprised by that. Did you see the J-Rod special on Fox? I didn't know J-Rod was a thing. You don't even know who I'm talking about, do you?
If you're talking about the no-fly zone, Julio Rodriguez, are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't see the special, but I'm sure it was fantastic.
I mean, now the Mariners fans can just look at the highlights. Watch that video on replay now because he ain't on the field. I mean, he ain't on the field, so I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, not a Hall of Famer. Thanks, Boots.
Paul Skeens, you okay with Paul Skeens going 8 1/3 before he got rocked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. Put him out there. Put him out there. Let's see what we can get out of him. He's a young dude. What is a comparison for Mike Trout? What is a comparison? Is there a comparison to Mike Trout? For just a talent, all-world talent who just can't stay healthy? Is it Grant Hill? Is Grant Hill a comparison for Mike Trout?
I would say probably we can say in the same sport and say probably like a Miguel Cabrera type.
Well, Miggy he'd be hit over 400, didn't he?
Like, no one's ever hit over 400.
Well,
he did win the Triple Crown, but he was a player that was kind of always kind of oft injured after that. I mean, Mike Trout's done some major things in this sport, but
has he?
Yeah,
he always get off to a hell of a season.
It's been
a hell of a start to the season.
Times, but I mean, he's
won MVP a couple times.
Yeah,
and he just stuck playing for the Angels. What are the teams to watch this second half of the season? because they're not the Mariners. Is not on that list. Who are you looking at? Houston now. Now that Houston got the number one seed in the American League West, are they just going to ride that wave all the way to the?
Rogers, Yankees, Phillies.
So back to the big boys, huh? Back to the big boys. So do you like you? I asked about parity in the NBA. You said you prefer the big boys. You like the big same thing in baseball, the big boys.
I would prefer that. Yeah.
Then you would prefer that than the Mariners competing for a championship, or the Astros breaking, getting in that mix. The Marlins having a buying their World Series and winning it one time every 10 years.
It's funny because I am so close to the situation and have been watching the Mariners for the last couple of years. If this team was in New York,
Wasting your time, by the way.
thanks. If this team was in New York, they would be like 15 games in ahead in first place.
What do you mean if they were in New York? What do you?
Because
Now you shitting on the stadium they're playing in. Now you finally shitting on T-Mobile
no,
and the chocolate crickets they sell
so
there.
really you don't understand that, but I will explain it to you. It's
Please.
because the Yankees have a commitment to winning, and they have a payroll that will sustain greatness.
So if it was ownership, now you're talking about ownership.
It's not only ownership, but it's ownership and market. So it's a combination of the two. But it all comes down to commitment to winning. I mean, if it was in Boston, it would be the same thing. If it was in Los Angeles, it would be the same thing. If it was in Chicago, it would be the same thing.
Weren't you the one telling me, oh, there's Amazon here, oh, there's Google here,
right? But
oh,
I don't
Starbucks here.
That doesn't change the narrative. It is still $1 trillion.
Oh, they get $3 million or 3 million fans per year. So there's money coming in.
They absolutely would do that if they won a World Series. But what I said was, you asked, would I prefer the big boys to be more dominant? And the answer is yeah, because it's more sustainable and they have a commitment to winning and they'll do what it takes.
Well, fans, fortunately for us, and we're going to stop losing. You guys don't have to deal with this or hear this much longer. But it seems like for all of baseball season, we've been talking about the Mariners. Cleveland has been able to have his Mariner minute. But now the Mariners are down to 52 and 51. They had a 51% winning percentage. And we don't talk about teams that are under 50%. So this might be the last week. We're off next week. So this might be the last time we talk about the Mariners all season long. Cleveland, go ahead, give your sob story for J-Rod. Is he done for the year?
No, Cameron. It is all doom and gloom around here. Our center fielder, Julio Rodriguez, has a high ankle sprain, going to be out 10 games. Our starting shortstop broke his finger, going to be out at least 10 games, maybe longer. We waived our starting first baseman. He is done. Our second,
Frenchie, the guy who just made the All-Star game?
Our second best reliever also got hurt today. Actually almost balked in a run. Actually balked a man over to second base, which led to the eventual game-winning run.
Professional baseball player getting a balk.
The last 3 games, the
Professional player
scored 1 run per game against one of the worst teams in the league. So yeah, it doesn't look good. But the pitching staff is still extraordinary, starting pitching, which makes it much more frustrating.
So only 35 days to Seahawks kick off the season, huh?
Yes.
That's how everybody looking at it?
No, they're looking at it like this is still like one of the most elite pitching staffs you've ever seen. We'll see if they make the moves to get more hitting. No one is very optimistic that they're actually going to do that. But if they did, that would be quite interesting. At present, they're 1 game back of first place. So
call up Baltimore. Baltimore, you guys want to do something with Baltimore?
Well, here's the problem, Cameron. Everyone knows that this is the Achilles heel of the Seattle Mariners. So why would you give them exactly what they need without, absolutely fleecing them? And I don't think the ownership or the general manager is willing to do that. So I'm not expecting any big moves.
What a shame.
If this was New York or Philadelphia or Los Angeles, Chicago, like we mentioned before, or Boston, yeah, you would have made a move.
What a shame. What a shame what's happening with those Seattle Mariners. Isn't that a shame?
It's an absolute shame, and the real shame of it is just how dominant this pitching staff truly is. It's kind of a joke.
I mean, what did they win by, or what did they lose by today?
2-1. 5-1 yesterday. 2-1 before that.
That's a shame, Cleveland. So how many games are you planning to go to this year?
It's a hard watch at this point. I mean, with the just disruption in the lineup with all the injuries and just nobody being able to swing the bat, it's they're going to be. I mean, shut down pitching through the 6th, 7th inning, but then what's going to happen after that? So
why did they waive the first baseman?
It's really, really funny. I was watching the game on Saturday, and I'm on a text thread with my friends, and I said it looks like Ty France is swinging at a ghost in the basement in the dark. He was just swinging at like the air, like that pitch is nowhere near the strike zone. Why are you swinging at it? And then like a day later, he got released. I was like, oh. I guess I'm not.
And this is your recent All-Star, wasn't it?
Like 3 years ago.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. See a Mariners fan. Go there, eat some chocolates, eat some chocolate critters. What are they? Chocolate crickets. Are they serving them with nuts now?
Cameron, I've never had these crickets that you keep talking about. I mean, I know they have them, but no, I have not had them, so I don't understand, or I can't, clarify how they're served.
All right, well, get some seats on the 3rd level on the first base side, and you'll have a wonderful view of the Puget Sound.
Okay, thanks, Cam.
And then you can, bring
I appreciate you pointing out all the amenities of T-Mobile Park, which
there's nothing worth looking at on the field. Maybe you know what? So maybe by September, the Metro League can start playing their games there. The high school teams can start playing there, and then you guys might fill up the stadium. Let the local high school teams play there, and then family, friends come out to the stadium. Man, that sounds like a plan to me. What do you think? Because the Mariners stink. And that ain't nothing new, but the Mariners stink out loud. You know that.
You're certainly giving you, plenty of ammunition to continue with your campaign against them. So,
Cleveland, they've had 4 winning seasons in 40 years. I don't know why you guys keep going to the stadium. I don't get it. I don't know why you Mariners fan. I don't know how you guys keep going to the stadium, buying up gear. They've had 4 winning seasons in 40 years.
They've had more than that, but that's okay. I see.
Actually, they haven't. Like,
I see where you're going with that, but they have had more than that.
The Mariners team. Nonetheless, fans, I'm sorry to bore you guys with Mariners talk. I appreciate you guys. Those of you that stuck with us this long through this, we're not gonna have to do this no more. Mariners talk. We're gonna be off next week, but when we come back, I guarantee the Mariners will not be over 500, and we don't talk about them over 500. You got anything on it? You want to put something on it, Cleveland?
I got nothing on it.
Huh?
I got nothing on it.
Yeah, no confidence. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. We really appreciate your feedback. Appreciate the Boots for tuning in. Barry, thanks for tuning in. MJ Lover, appreciate you guys for tuning in. And those of you guys watching from afar, whatever you're doing, working out, on your nightly walk, on your way to work, getting off work, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you, sir. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Fans, so we give you number games at the beginning of the show. We give you the This Week in History segment in the middle of the show. Now I want to end the show with a quote. I wanted to give you guys some inspiration to get through the rest of the week. But so here's the quote. The only way to do great work is to do what you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Steve Jobs. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Steve Jobs. Do what you love, man. You guys have heard the saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I hope all you guys find something that you love to do so work isn't so laborious. Thank you for your time for tuning in. Cleveland, give Cleveland a round of applause. Cleveland's pretty down right now. He's pretty down right now because how many more days to Seahawks season start?
You counted it off. I think it's 35 days. Ken, thanks for the reminder and the update.
Yeah, let's give Cleveland a round of applause because he's holding his breath right now to see some quality football. And Geno, you get to see Geno Smith. Are you excited about Geno yet?
I didn't say anything about Geno Smith.
You're not excited about Geno and the new offense, new quarterback? This quarterback has done wonders with
I'm curious to see how Sam Howell looks when he gets his reps. I'm curious to hear that.
Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. As always, thank you for making our voice your choice.